This week on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, we bring you an unreported fresh in piece, Lil' Kim saving lives, the return of Exhibit, the proper use of AI, new music from Toast Face Grilla with Nas, and we get a visit from our friend Adam Silverstein from the Hip Hop Museum. What else? Let's listen.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Now we're about to switch around. Street
And now, here's your host, Bill Winters, and Mr. Throwback self, Shorty Robbins.
And a very pleasant good morning to everybody. Welcome to Mr. Throwback Thursday. This is episode 536, and it is your two favorite idiots bringing you all the hip-hop news that you've come to expect from the two idiots who bring you hip-hop news.
Yeah.
Bill is up in New York. Jamie is down in Virginia. How are you, my brother?
I am well. We did not mention last week that after last show, but before this show, we each celebrated wedding anniversaries.
We did indeed. A happy 30th anniversary to you and Mrs.
Yes.
Throwback Thursday South.
And a happy 21st to you and Mrs. Throwback Thursday North.
Thank you very much. I didn't take a big long cruise like you did. We just took a day down in New York City. We spent the entire day down in the city yesterday, just kind of being spontaneous and, checking out things that we hadn't seen before. We stopped into Janelle really wants to, upon retirement, open up a speakeasy type bar.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the whole idea of Prohibition era, secretive.
It's difficult though to be secretive about something if you want to advertise something.
Well, here's the twist that she's going to do with it. It's going to be secretive with a modern touch.
Okay.
We're gonna do a speakeasy, but you know how the old style speakeasies, you had to have a special password to get in,
Or a knock or something. Yeah.
Being that she's the techie one,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have one of those
QR
locks
codes
on the door, where the only way you get that day's code is to be on the list of the social medias that we're going to set up for the place.
Nice.
So you have to get it sent to you in order to have access to the place.
Nice. And Nipsey has a very true comment here.
Yeah, they sure do. Because between the two of us, that's 51 years of marriage.
It is.
So
It is.
and your comment was funny. You were like, "Yes, I was there," and I said, "Yeah, you signed the papers."
I did.
So
And that proved that my signature was worth
the paper it was printed on. Yes, 21 years, and now one day later, it still is. Oh, by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody who
Yes.
celebrates such things as we are
Which
recording
means
on.
it is Kalen Naudé's birthday today.
And a happy birthday to Kalen. There's a name we haven't heard. Our
Yeah.
junior
Who's
TBT
25 now?
posse,
Yeah.
who's now
Well,
25.
26.
Yeah.
He's 26 today. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well,
No,
he was
25.
16.
25 because Ian turns 25 in December. Yes,
Yeah,
25.
he was 15 when we designated him the
Yes.
junior TBT posse chief, and now he's not a junior. But
No.
happy birthday to Kalen, and a hello to Terrence. Haven't spoken to
Yes.
Terrence in forever. So,
In Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
That was his ringtone for a while.
the hotbed of hip hop that is Oklahoma. I'm surprised it wasn't Boomer Sooner. Isn't that what JR
No.
always uses? So,
It was
No, it was a
Dancing
very-
Queen for the longest time. But
hey, I don't judge.
No.
I love ABBA. No, we had a very nice day. We did the speakeasy thing. We went and saw a Broadway show last night. There's a show called The Heart of Rock and Roll on Broadway, which is all
Still
Huey
beating?
Lewis music. Basically, the whole soundtrack is Huey Lewis music. I enjoyed it immensely.
Well,
'cause,
good.
I grew up in that era. And,
yes.
funny thing. First concert I ever saw, Orange County Speedway, Huey Lewis and the News. So
Hey, and for all of you who missed last week's show live, suckers, you missed a great interview.
Yes, a fantastic interview. So before we get going any further, I just want to say thank you once again to new friend of the show,
Yes.
Gene Groove Allen. What a great hour and a half
Yeah, I
that
guess.
we had with him.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic individual.
And I sent him a mug. I believe it was actually that. No, I sent him the Sandstone one with the red
Oh,
lettering.
Okay, because
But what?
what? It's our DMX for the day.
Yes, so he is to welcome him to the posse. That was his.
Absolutely. We do have a lot to get through today. We have some hip hop headlines. The way we're scheduled for today, we'll get through hip hop headlines. We're supposed to have a special presentation, a special guest joining us. Now, sometimes things being what they are, sometimes life happens. So we do have
time difference in Switzerland.
We do have in the back burner some woo news. We have some records that we can go over as well. We do have an old to the new that we're going to play either way.
Yes.
And then I will read lyrics, and then we'll put a bow on it. But we will definitely start with hip-hop headlines. That we know, because there's a lot to talk about this week. So if you would be so kind, my friend, for the 536th time, would you hit me with a little of that Triple H, please?
Yay.
This is hip hop headlines brought by Mr. Throwback Thursday.
But get on it. It's your time.
It is my turn. Now, if a Fresh in Peace happens and nobody talks about it,
then we must make sure that people hear about it. That is that is what we do here.
So I'm gonna say we're breaking this because nobody else has.
Like I told you beforehand, I saw it on like 5 social media posts of like people who were close.
Right.
And that's it. And I found an obituary from a local newspaper, not local to me, obviously.
Right.
In New Jersey. But that's it. I mean, there was nothing on any of the media magazine sites or anything, newspapers. So I gave you what I could give you. And yeah.
Well,
so we're going to be able to do it.
We are going to be able to do it. Instagram post from Venice Beach Freak Show is where I'm taking this from.
Yes.
So, member of the Double X Posse, stylized as Double XX Posse.
Yes.
Which is 4 X's, but no. Double X Posse. BK, Brian Coleman, lost his battle with cancer and has sadly passed away. Producer, DJ, member of Double X Posse, who, if you don't know who Double X Posse is, we did do them, I believe, as a one and done. And their big track, and we say it quite often here, just, as tribute and because it's just a fun thing to say, was, I'm not going to be able to do it. Which is a great song. A great song. Sugar Ray, BK, the rest of the Big Beat family, they got #1 single with Not Gonna Be Able to Do It.
Yep.
Was featured on BET, on In Living Color, Fresh Prince. So Brian Coleman of Double X Posse, from I believe the album was what? Put Your Boots On?
Put Your Boots On, yeah.
Sadly passed away. I don't even have an age for him.
Yeah, let me see.
I believe he's younger than us, though.
I believe so. Let me see if I can come up with any information. I mean, there's a funeral.
I'm
page,
shocked that nobody talked about it.
It just said passed away Saturday, April 29th. Viewing will be held on May 7th. Service held at St. John's Baptist in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Read full obituary in the New Jersey Journal. Hold on. Let's see if I can find any.
It's so
No,
weird.
it's
It
the
just
same-
says his date of death. It doesn't even say
Yeah.
date of birth.
Oh, very strange. Yeah, but the fact that there was nothing out there,
Yeah.
only finding stuff on social media from people was very, very odd.
Yeah. Well, all of us here at Mr. Throwback Thursday offer our sympathies and condolences to the friends, fans, and family of Brian Coleman, BK, from the Double X Posse. Sadly, taken away from us by cancer.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we don't know
His
his
age.
age, but we can say definitely too soon. So we offer our standard moment for the friends, fans, and family of BK, Brian Coleman. When you think of Little Kim, what do you think
Yes.
of immediately?
I think of her plastic surgery most recently.
Do you think
And-
of her as a lifesaver? I don't
No,
mean the candy.
no. Although she's got
Although-
songs about stuff like that.
Although I was going to say, all the Bill Reed's lyrics I've ever done makes it sound like she may be an avid lifesaver-ish
yes.
person based off of some of the words she uses.
But if you've ever seen her, she's a big dancer when she performs.
Always has been. Always has
Yes.
been. Now, a woman in Alabama,
Alabama.
Shariah Taylor is crediting Lil Kim with indirectly saving her life.
Yes, indirectly. Thank you for putting that out there.
Um,
Kim didn't come out there acting like Wonder Woman with her, bullet deflecting bracelets or
or her boobs of steel or anything like that.
True. Visible jet. No.
No, Shariah Taylor lives in Dothan, Alabama. Recently, there have been a couple of shootings, as there are all over this country.
Oh, yes.
Taylor was outside with her child when gunfire erupted on April 26th. She says she survived the incident because of dance moves that she learned watching Lil Kim.
Now, when Lil Kim's in concert or in her videos, is she saying, okay, if you're ever in a shootout, use this dance move? Does she have a separate video line that we were unaware of where she teaches you what moves of hers are for what situation?
In my extensive follow-up on this article, when you send it to me, I can definitely say there is no such thing.
Damn it, there should be now.
Well, now that maybe she
Lil
knows
Kim
that
instructional videos.
she's Lil Kim stars in Dodgeball 2.
Yes. You can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a wrench.
if you can dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge
That's
to Lil
right.
Kim, you can dodge a bullet. So Taylor says, I hear pop, 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 about 7 rounds. I'm dodging. I'm ducking. I'm dodging. I'm ducking. I'm
There you
dodging.
go.
I'm doing my Little Kim. Yes.
Now, 1980s now, did you have fishing line on your broom?
No,
Because
I don't
in
think so.
1983, I did not see the fishing line. But in 2024, I see it every time I turn it
definitely
on.
see the fishing line, yes. It's one of those Mandela things now.
It is no less impressive, though,
No, it's
you
still
know,
very impressive.
when Shabadoo tells him, Ozone says, Turbo, get out there and sweep while he's stacking cases of knee high. That is still an impressive scene, even though he does not sweep very well.
Cases
and
of
he is called out for
knee
it.
high. I hear
Yeah.
knee high, and the first name I think of is Corporal Radar O'Reilly.
Yes, but he was not in Breaking
No, he was not. Could you
or
imagine?
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, the only thing that was breaking on him was that weird finger that he's got, which for years I didn't know anything about. And then you watch after you find out, and
Yeah.
he's constantly got the hand hidden.
Yep.
So,
Hello,
Gary
John.
Gary Berghoff, by the way, one of only 2 people from the movie who played in the series. And I forget who the other one was. Probably one of them, Nurse Abel's, because there was 150 of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
The magic
anyway-
of dance saved miracles, by the way.
Yes. Well, it can save lives too.
Yes.
Because, Shariah Taylor, is that what her? Yes, Shariah
Yes.
Taylor was the first name. Credits her dodging, ducking, dodging. I'm doing my little Kim. I'm trying to get my baby in the car, and then I
Yep.
threw my baby in the back seat, and we sped off. Now, the dodging and ducking that Taylor is referring to is Lil Kim's infamous moves in the Quiet Storm remix video
Of course,
she did
because
with-
everyone remembers that.
with the infamous Mobb Deep.
Yes.
So, Kim's moves have become a meme in recent years
Yeah.
because she
Because she's out of
performed
practice.
on the 2019 BET Hip Hop Awards, and they did a medley of classic hits, and Kim was up there dancing all up in the video.
Yes, she was.
But
At least she wasn't giving back hugs. That was somebody else.
no, Carl Winslow. Now we're joking about this whole thing, but apparently this is a
Yes.
big problem down in Alabama. So
People who
hope
don't have the
everybody-
little Kim box set to learn how to dance and save their lives.
or YouTube, because
Yeah.
probably, you're not going to learn the dance moves from listening to a record. You got to see them. But
Yeah.
so
Wonder if she also has ways to dance out of a burning house or out from a crashed airplane from a water landing.
with editing software, you could make this. That we'll combine it. We'll have her with Vanilla Ice and have her dancing away from zombies on an
Zombie
airplane.
plane.
How's that? Oh man.
I got to get a hold of him so we can talk about that movie. But anyway,
And then the funny thing is, she ends this thing. It kind of goes back to another meme. She's like, "If you stay in Westgate Village, stay in your house. Hide your kids, hide your wife,
hide your wife.
and hide your husband, because they shooting everybody out here." Oh man, what was that kid's name? Antoine Dotson. Was he the one
Maybe.
who did "Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife"? Why do I know that? Why?
I don't
does
know.
Shit like that stick in my head.
Because you learned it from Lil Kim.
Maybe.
Learned it from watching you, Dad. Anyway, the gas
The mic-
station we passed.
The microphone fiend is our next article.
Yes.
We recently reported on and congratulated a Tribe Called Quest on
Mhm.
being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or they haven't been inducted yet, but they
No, but they were.
have been
Announced.
named as inductees.
Yes.
One of the groups that was not named as an inductee that was up for it this year was another hip hop pairing, Eric B. and Rakim, the God
Which you may
MC.
have heard of.
Yes. But they are fine with it. Eric B. and Rakim, and this comes to us from TMZ, are very happy with the inductees, despite the fact that they didn't make the cut. They were on the ballot, but came up short in the final vote. This year's inductees are Mary J. Blige, well-deserved.
Yes.
Cher, well-deserved. Dave Matthews Band, very successful, not one of my favorites, although Ants Marching is a catchy tune.
Sure.
Foreigner, who I would say is very deserving.
Yeah.
There were
Lil
no
Fame took a Foreigner record
Mhm.
that he found in the trash and turned it into Cold as Ice
Mhm.
and made it a MOP song.
I love Foreigner. I just, the kings of the 80s power ballads.
Yeah.
One of them, anyway.
Yeah. You go back and listen to Billy Dan's interview. He talks about Fame
Yep.
finding the records in the trash.
Peter Frampton was named this year.
I heard he came alive once.
Dude, I don't know anybody who at one point in our age group, or
Mhm.
if you had older sisters, that didn't have that record.
I actually believe I have it in the living room.
That record and Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell.
Bat
I
Outta
think
Hell? Yeah.
Everybody owned those two records. Kool and the Gang was inducted. Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist. I
Yes.
believe he's already in with
With
Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Yes. And a Tribe Called Quest are entering this year. Eric B. and Rakim say there are no hard feelings. They're happily congratulating their peers. Congratulations to the diverse group of artists included in the Rock Hall this year. Seeing Tribe and Mary on the list beside Cher, Ozzy, Kool and the Gang, and all the other icons shows how inclusive the institution has become.
Even though Gene Simmons doesn't
I
want
was
it to
just
be.
about to say, although Gene Simmons is probably shitting in his diaper and shaking his fist at the cloud.
Yes.
Eric B. and Rakim are still eyeing the honor for themselves at some point. They've added, keep voting. We'll join you soon. And I think, well deserved when they finally do get in.
Yes.
Because, I mean, come on. It's Rakim. Eric B. on the cut and the God MC.
Yes, he has. Come on. He nominated his DJ to president.
He did. He didn't say, no, he said he is president.
I know.
So they weren't the only ones who were excluded this year. I mean, there were some big names that were left off that were on the ballot and didn't get the necessary votes. Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm. I think it's too early for her.
She's still active, so.
Right.
Although, what did we say? It's got to be 20-something years since your last album?
After your first one.
Oh, after your first one.
Yeah, I mean, so timeline-wise, yes,
it fits.
I think, yes, but I think it's too early to put her in.
Yeah.
There are other people that should go in before she gets on that list.
Jane's Addiction,
Perry Farrell.
who was also, what, Porno for Pyros or something like that?
I think
Wasn't
so.
he in that too?
He got caught stealing once when he was 5.
Dude, that track is such
You
a
just remember the
earworm.
video from MTV.
That's one of the videos you'll never forget once you saw
Yeah.
it.
Stuffing the turkey up under his... Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, that song will stick with you, whether you remember the video, which I
Mhm.
do, or just that roar, 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 the
Yeah.
fact that they had the dog barking.
DMX in there?
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, and I wouldn't know another Jane's Addiction song if you played it for me.
Nope.
Sade, the Smooth Operator.
With her 5 head.
hmm Or Ordinary Love. I actually always liked Ordinary Love. That was a great track. The late, great Sinead O'Connor was left off this year. I'm shocked they didn't put her in.
Just because she
this
died?
year. Yeah. There's still a lot of people who, it's funny. She's very divisive this way. There's a lot of people who'll never forgive her for ripping up the picture of the Pope.
The Pope on Saturday Night Live?
SNL.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people who count that as a seminal moment of bringing notice to the fact that the Catholic Church was doing some pretty shady things. Oasis, who had one album, fucking hated each other and their brothers.
Yep.
Look, I like Wonderwall. I don't think one album is good enough to get them in the Rock Hall, but that's just me.
No.
And Lenny Kravitz, who my wife cannot stand.
Okay.
For one reason or another. I actually like Lenny Kravitz.
Whose mom was on the Jeffersons.
Yes. And Lenny Kravitz was really, really good in the Hunger Games movies.
I didn't see him.
He played Cinna, the stylist for
Of course.
Katniss Everdeen, and he was really, really good. Name one more Smokey Robinson song. It's so funny, John. I listened to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles on the way to the train station yesterday because it came on, and I was like, "Ooh, the Miracles with a disco-y type song." You don't normally hear that, so. But anyway, congratulations to Tribe Called Quest, and good on Eric B. and Rakim for not being sore losers.
Yeah.
They were nominated
Like Gene Simmons.
They were nominated originally in 2012, so
And then weren't again
until this year.
Right.
So we'll look for their nomination in 2036 because it seems like every 12 years or so they throw them a bone.
It's like the Knicks making the playoffs. Yeah.
Which I can't wait for this week, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out to both the Knicks and the Rangers, keeping Madison Square Garden buzzing.
Keeping 1994 alive.
Yes, Lenny is also related to Al Roker.
Well, that would make sense. Because what was his mom's name? Roxy? Roker?
Roxy Roker. Yep.
Yes.
This is how you do AI. Boom, chicka, chicka,
Yes.
boom, boom.
It is, though. We come on here and we complain about how people are using AI and how Skynet's right around the corner. And
Oh, I skipped one.
you did.
I skipped a couple, actually.
Yeah, because you're all over the place.
But I just wanted to say this is how we do AI.
Yes.
So I'm going to do this one, then I'll go back.
Okay, play it.
Plus, when you sent me this,
Mhm.
and I saw this, other than the Fresh in Peace, that's just still very weird to me.
Yes.
I thought this might lead.
Yeah.
Because
If it
out of all the people who have used AI to do shitty stuff in the music industry, I think to be able to use AI to bring back the tone of one of the best lyricists we've ever heard.
Oh, yes.
Who sadly lost his voice due to, circumstances of
It was
his
an
own doing
accident.
still, but still, it was an accident.
Yeah. Both of them have
Yeah.
lost their voices
Mhm.
due to medical situations.
And we're talking about, of course, DOC, but a lot of people forget that Beanie Siegel's in the same.
Yeah. I think his was a lung issue.
I think you're right.
But
So-
for once, we're taking the artists who still have the ability to write,
Mhm.
but no longer perform, and using an AI version of them
Mhm.
to put their words out as music. I think that is
as
a
long as they
wonderful way to
co-sign
use this.
that is the
Yeah,
best
they're the
way
ones
to
who are
use
doing it.
this.
Yeah.
So they may be teaming up for a collaboration.
That would be incredible.
Both artists have suffered severe damage to their vocal cords due to tragic events. Beanie lost lung function after being shot.
Yeah.
DOC's vocal cords were crushed in the car crash.
Car crack. Yeah.
But that doesn't affect their minds and their ability to write.
No, they just can no longer
They
project
can't
their voice as
execute-
they need
yeah,
to.
They can't
Yeah.
execute the voice, unfortunately.
So if they can write, they can use their own AI voices
Mhm.
to be able to speak when they can. It's kind of like if Stephen Hawking had an actual AI of his own voice instead of the speak and spell voice, he would use it.
I'm shocked he didn't develop that as smart as he was.
I know, right?
But
Skynet.
You can't see Stephen Hawking without thinking of the speak and spell voice.
Yeah.
Lyrically sharp, still capable of delivering quality verses. Now they have the capability to plug that into the AI and give us what we would expect to normally hear from them prior to
Right.
these.
Yeah, because
terrible-
DOC just did something with Fat Mike's group.
Yes, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I can't remember what that name of the group was. Doesn't Convicts or something along those lines. But he did it, and you could hear how hard he was working and the rasp in his voice because he doesn't have his regular voice anymore. But for him to be able to just go out there and plug in, well, this was my voice. This is how it worked. I can sound the way I used to sound.
And I'll tell you what, I will be on the lookout for
Yes.
this collaboration because to hear that classic DOC voice,
And that's what you'll hear. It's not like they're going to age progress his voice.
no,
You're
No,
going to
it's
hear
gonna-
the formula
Mhm.
DOC.
it's going to start with Rastafana son of motherfuck, which is one of my favorite nonsense words ever
Yes.
in hip hop.
It's up there with looped it.
Well, I know a lot of MCs like to use the word dramatical too.
I've heard that, or at least one. I don't know.
All right, so now that we've covered that, just because it was fun to say, this is how you do AI, plus the fact that anything that involves new DOC music that's going to sound
Yes.
like old DOC music is a good thing. So let's go backwards. Hip Hop DX, you've titled this one Pimpin' Ain't Easy.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
I
Yes.
seem to remember there was a lot of controversy about this anyway.
Long after the fact.
But not so much the controversy that they talk about in the article as I was reading through it.
Right.
Exhibit has teased a reboot of the classic show Pimp My Ride.
Yes. The
Exhibit, who was part of Eminem's posse and all that, as well as a legit MC on his own.
oh yeah.
The X to the Z. Between 2004 and 2007, it seemed like it ran longer than that, didn't it?
Oh yeah. The controversy they had then wasn't it that they didn't fix any of the cars, so they
No,
still ran
that-
like shit.
Right.
But
right. They souped them up to make them,
they put a
fresh
whole lot
coat
of extra
paint
shit
on
in them.
Right. Exhibit posted a picture on Instagram
Popcorn
on
machines.
May 1st of a classic American muscle car, his name printed on the hood, along with the tagline, "It's time to get back customizing rides." And then he captioned the post with, the date May 9th, 2024, which is this coming week. No further information was given, but fans, of course,
It is actually this Throwback Thursday.
it is about the possibility of this show, Pimp My Ride, coming back. So another one of the commenters, their joked, is like, hey, we heard you like TV, so we installed a 65-inch flat screen on the undercarriage of your 92 Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Cole just bought a Honda Civic, but not a 92.
Does it have a 65-inch TV in the undercarriage? Well, he needs to
Someone
go
else
talk to
quoted
X to the Z.
X to the Z's line from Triple X2, where he says, if it got wheels, we can jack it. Now, remember, X, aside from the whole, they added all this shit to it, but the cars still didn't run.
Yeah, and most of the people, it wasn't just because their cars looked ugly. It's because they had mechanical problems.
Mm-hmm.
So when you now have mechanical problems and your electrical system has to support, cotton candy machine in your back seat.
Your undercarriage. I worry about my undercarriage as I get older, but I don't think I have a.
I don't think Little Kim's got to dance for that one.
I think that's something
to protect Bill's undercarriage.
It's something completely different. X has not always been on great terms with the producers. I come to find out by reading this, and I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 22, Exhibit shared documents that basically dragged the company, saying that they made over $16 million for Viacom CBS from Pimp My Ride, and he didn't get hardly anything off of that.
Yeah, I believe that's kind of like signing a record contract.
You made millions off the show. I carried on my back, found ways to cut me out, like saying I would get percentages of all merch sold, let alone streaming, which wasn't even in the contract. And
right.
Putting in the fine print with my name and likeness, and then proceeded to take my name and likeness off of all the merchandise, including DVD sales, after season 1. So yeah, anything with your name and likeness, we're going to pay you for.
But we're not going to put your name on anything.
And likeness on anything. So, but to me, once you pop that DVD in, and his visage comes up, and he says, "Yo, this is Exhibit. That's name and likeness. You're using the name and likeness. Pay the man." To top that, he says, you guys went back and edited all of my music out of all entire seasons in order to avoid paying me for my publishing. Let's talk about worldwide syndication. My number is still the same. Hit me up. Or can anybody hit me with a law firm who isn't afraid of Viacom CBS to get me right? So, he says that he's previously squashed any talk of returning to do the show, which, after it was canceled, caused him to file for bankruptcy, because the only reason this show came out was because music had dried up for him.
Right. Yep.
So, well, let's hope. I mean, I was not a Pimp My Ride guy.
I used to watch it a lot.
Probably because I said the same thing. I was like, what the fuck do you need a cotton candy maker in the back seat of a car for? But
yeah, no, I always liked the beginning of the show because it would be X talking about the person in their car, and then he would sneak up and he would steal their car and take it away.
Yes.
That was the funniest thing, just him riding down the road with his whole busted vehicle.
Yeah, which was probably, in reality, being towed with a properly placed camera. But we'll see what happens with that. Next on the agenda, and we already talked about Rakim once, a touch of jazz. And you and I were talking about this in the pre-show.
We were.
Yesterday, when I was reading through the articles, I learned that not only I thought there was only one Ravi in music.
Yes.
Ravi Shankar. Well, I was wrong.
You were wrong. Good morning, Jason.
Apparently, John Coltrane has a son named Ravi. I almost said Shankar again.
That's a very strange.
Maybe his middle name is Shankar. Who knows?
Maybe.
But Rakim, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and Ravi Coltrane rocked the Kennedy Center with a concert celebrating both hip hop and jazz.
And Jazzy Jeff is a nice one to bridge that gap.
Yeah. Not just because he's got jazz in his name.
No.
Standing room only, sold out. Group of enthusiasts filled the Kennedy Center last Friday. The show featured Rakim, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Ravi Coltrane, who was one of 3 children of legendary musicians John and Alice Coltrane.
Yes.
So they had a quartet of live musicians. Ravi and his long tenor saxophone. Apparently, that's his instrument of choice.
Is
I was
that what
like
he calls
this-
it?
I always like the tenor sax over the alto sax.
But did you like the Barry sax?
Sometimes, yeah. You get
Yeah. Well, we had to be 9 feet tall in order to carry it.
yeah. I'm trying to remember who played the Barry sax when we were.
Yeah, I don't-
because I always remember seeing the kids play. I think Mike Dawson played the Barry sax at one point.
I didn't know it was set on a stand and you kind of leaned into it.
Yeah. No, Mike Dawson played that because he sat next to Beth Marchese, who at the time, I believe, played the.
She played the flute, didn't she?
Played originally, and then she switched to the bassoon.
Nobody
So
plays the bassoon.
bassoon is an interesting instrument. Has a great sound to it if it's played
Sure.
right.
I'm surprised Cranky hasn't come up with a name for this podcast.
Bill and Jamie talk their high school bands. But anyway, Jazzy Jeff was on the mix, who provided a lot of the sounds. Rakim rocked on his solo microphone at this hip hop and jazz festival.
He is
This
the
was-
microphone fiend, so
I've heard that. He fell asleep. We started an hour later. You should be awake.
seriously, the Derby was yesterday, so
I don't even know who won that anyway.
nobody knows who won that. Mint Juleps won. That's
Except if you ever drank a mint julep,
no, nor will I ever.
they're terrible. The brainchild.
I believe you have to have a big monster hat in order to make it tasty.
Which is why the women at that speakeasy yesterday probably would have enjoyed them. Those hats were fantastic. Jill Newman of the New York City-based Jill Newman Productions
Newman.
put this show on. Hello, Newman. Simone Eccleston is the director of hip-hop culture and contemporary music at the Kennedy Center, and she said she was happy to collaborate with Jill Newman to bring this genre-meshing performance to audiences. And this is what kind of got me the whole thing on here. I didn't realize Jazzy Jeff was older than Rakim
Yeah,
by 3
Yeah.
years.
that's a thing. If you look at them next to each other, no,
No.
not believing it.
Jazzy Jeff still looks like he's in his 30s,
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to get thrown out a window.
which if he's wearing that shirt, you know
You
he's
know it's
going
gonna happen because that happened one time.
Jazzy Jeff is 59 years old. Rakim is 56. Ravi Coltrane is 58. So, some seasoned veterans providing
Yes.
that music. I would have loved to have heard this. Just to
Well,
hear Jazzy
maybe it's
Jeff
available
with,
somewhere.
just to hear Jazzy Jeff with Rakim would have been an
Yeah.
interesting collaboration to begin with. But then you add some live jazz in with it. You get that whole jazzmatazz feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been all over this. So, but yeah, the mixing Eric B and Rakim classics like "I Ain't No Joke," "Moved a Crowd," "I Know You Got Soul," "Paid in Full," and "Know the Ledge." Jazzy Jeff then sampled artists such as Kool and the Gang. Second mention of them today.
Yes, it was listed as the Rakim and DJ Jazzy Jeff and Ravi Coltrane project.
Hey,
That's a lot.
I've got a project with Rakim, Ravi Coltrane, and DJ Jazzy Jeff, but I need a snappy name for it.
I need something with a hook.
The Jazzy Jeff, Rakim, and Ravi Coltrane project. That's
know what?
gold,
I like
Jerry. That's gold.
Jazz Masters 2024. Is that what it was called?
Maybe that's a better name for it.
Well, let me see. No. 2024 Jazz Masters is Amina Claudine Myers, Gary Bartz, Terry Blanchard, not Tully Blanchard, Willard Jenkins. That is not it. I was looking to see if I could find it streaming or something.
Tully Blanchard was the you god of the Four Horsemen.
I'll allow it.
Of the original Four. Actually,
Yes.
Was he originally a Four Horseman?
I believe so. Yes.
I think so. I think it was Rick,
Yep. Arn
Arn,
Oldie.
and Ole,
Yep.
and Tully.
and Tully Blanchard.
So, and then they started letting everybody be a horseman after.
Well,
a
then
while.
it was like, didn't they have like the new horseman? It was like Benoit and Malenko and
yeah, Leroy Jenkins. No, you know who the best add-on?
hold on, let me write this down so I
Horsemen
take all this out.
was Barry Windham. Barry Windham was a good horseman.
And
Anyway,
a good partner to Mike Rotundo.
who just got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. So, Touch of Jazz, pretty cool idea. I may take a look on YouTube and see if I can't find snippets of that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to have to be there. You know, whether it's a legit Kennedy Center version or somebody saying, "Oh, I was at this and here it is." You know,
I love the fact that you've titled this next one with a Beastie Boys song title because rest in peace, Adam Yauch,
yes,
who yesterday, how many years has it been now?
12, I think.
12 years yesterday on my wedding anniversary. We
Mhm.
lost MCA. So
I posted it.
Yes. So rest in peace, Adam Yauch. And that's why I wanted to make mention of that because you've entitled this one, manager's crazy. He always smokes dust.
He's got his own room at the back of the bus.
Which I think was a Mike D line. Or was
Maybe.
it a...
I would have to go back and look. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, is there a bad Beasties line? I don't think so.
No.
The Beasties were a hell of a lot better than they had any right to be.
Well, I was just telling Alex yesterday, I was listening to Beasties yesterday because, you know, it was MCA day.
Yes.
And I was playing. I said, stop. I said, you have to listen to how awesome this line is delivered. I said, it's not so much the line, it's how it's delivered. And it's, running from the law, the press, and the parents. Is your name Michael Diamond? Nah, mine's Clarence. I just love that line.
Yeah. So anyway, Run DMC's My Adidas was inspired by Russell Simmons smoking dust.
Yeah. Who was the
Their
Beastie Boys
manager's
manager?
Crazy, he always smokes dust.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that was a big thing for Russ back then.
Russ, yes. It would seem that way.
He was
not for Blair Underwood, mind you.
No. He was extremely high on phencyclidine, which is the
Of course.
which is the real name for angel dust. Last week, Daryl Matthew McDaniels, which I didn't realize Matthew was his middle name.
No one did.
DMC shared a clip from a conversation he had with Will Smith earlier this year for
You know
that
he has a
Class
podcast,
of '88 podcast. Yeah. He shared the story of where my Adidas came from all the way back in '86. He says it started way back in history. No, it started because Russell was smoking dust. He was
so
going.
it would seem.
He was going. Wait. You got to make a record about your sneakers.
He's gonna. What about 3 Hard Dicks?
And then he recited the cadence of what would go on to become the track's explosive opening line. He would raise his foot real high and stomp, "My Adidas."
Mm-hmm.
So there is a video of DMC talking to Will about this. I just think it's hysterical that, you know, our manager's crazy. He always smokes dust.
Yeah, you like how I tied that together there. Blair Underwood's crazy. He always smokes dust.
But the Beasties, that record was on Def Jam.
Yeah, I know.
Was Russell?
He was their manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe that line wasn't just a throwaway line to get a
No.
rhyme. So, because I mean, just to get something to rhyme with bus, you could.
Yeah, there's 1,000 other things.
But nope. Our manager's crazy. He always smokes dust. He's got his own room at the back of the bus. And D was like, I can agree with that.
That's how we got on one of our most famous songs.
You know, he told me to do a song about my sneakers, right? And
No,
people
wait,
liked
look.
it.
You wear sneakers, right? Right? You should tell people about them.
Yo, I'm fucked
Hey,
up.
Russ. Rick, you gonna step in here and do something about this?
And that's when Rick turns into the guy from Animal House and goes, "Forget it, he's rolling."
No, he turned into the guy from the movie Tougher Than Leather and plays his little piano riff.
Don't ever mention that movie again. That was the worst movie we have
Look,
ever done.
I
on
will
Fresh
say,
Flicks.
and John should love this. Tougher Than Leather, the movie,
Mhm.
was worse than Body Rock.
Oh, that's a low bar to clear. Wow. You got to dig
Yeah.
underground because that bar's laying on the ground with
It
Body
is.
Rock.
Yes. Now I will take anyone who was in Tougher Than Leather. I will
Mhm.
take their music over anything that Lorenzo Lamas has done. But as far as a blaxploitation spaghetti western goes, Tougher Than Leather is at the bottom of the list.
There are not a lot of movies worse than Body Rock, John. There are some movies worse
There
than
are
Body
some.
Rock. I would not qualify a lot as the total. I mean, there's always Showgirls
There is that.
with the classic line, "Know me? Huh. I didn't recognize you without cum all over you,"
Mhm.
which is, oh, John missed Tougher Than Leather. We may have to have a special private screening.
wow. That may be the return of Fresh Flicks. We will double up on Tougher Than Leather and not report about it,
And
just
just
so
call
John
it-
can see it.
And just call it the Tougher Than Leather experience. How's
Yes.
that?
Tougher Than Leather reprise.
All right, are you ready for your ridiculous news about a ridiculous person that we held off last week when our guest came on?
And it's not even new school news.
No, we're actually going to dive into this. And if you look at the way he parades his wife, quotation marks, around,
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Yeah.
no, Skeet, pass. I refuse to call him by this name, by the way. He is Kanye. I don't give a fuck what he can.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Yes.
Yes, he is Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
He's fucking Chris Jackson. That's who he is.
Yes.
But anyway,
Well, the artist formerly known as Pass,
Yes.
reportedly is launching Yeezy Porn
because all of his other projects have gone so well.
with the
Is-
ex-husband of the woman that Donald Trump is now on trial for paying hush money to.
Yep.
So let's get this whole, because
This is a
that's
very
been
big
an
picture.
intertwined thing for a while between Mr. West,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Trump
Mm-hmm.
in the past.
And now
with-
Mr. Daniels.
and not Mick Daniels. He was in the other story.
No. Yes.
But now, this is just ridiculous. He's going to start this. Does Pass have adult films on his way?
Yeah. So he made the big red boot things that nobody bought.
Mm-hmm.
He bought the prison shoes, shower shoes that nobody bought. He had his derelict line.
Pass?
Huh?
We're talking about Pass?
Yeah.
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 Because
garbage
Trump
bags
made
full of clothes.
Trump made shoes that nobody bought either.
Yes.
Trump also has his own Bible,
Well, yeah,
and Pass thinks he's God.
he does.
Otherwise, he wouldn't call himself Jesus.
Yeah. No, but he made
Sure
those
that this is
big
not
red
the
boots.
same
Nobody
person
wanted them.
in two different bodies.
I'm not sure of anything.
Because
You know
that's
how we
us.
share a brain?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just about see. You have proven my point because I just thought the same thing.
Yeah. No.
this
Nobody
is-
bought his big red boots. Nobody bought his shower shoes. Nobody bought his garbage bag full of clothes that he stole from the Gap or wherever. Nobody's buying any of that stuff.
because nobody can handle wearing Greb.
This is true.
It's not brown.
So now,
It's not brown.
but it is not brown.
There you go. And it's not Billy Booty Hole Brown,
It is not.
which I almost wore that T-shirt today, but I went with this one. By the
You
way.
should.
Billy Booty Hole Brown. No, I
Because you and Kim are the only ones who have them.
because I wanted my T-shirt to match my mug today,
Very nice.
and I don't
'Cause
have
you
a
got to
Billy Booty
coordinate.
Hole. I don't have a Billy Booty Hole Brown mug yet.
No, you do
Although
not.
now that I mention that, I'm sure that's going to appear in the fucking
who knows?
Etsy.com shop.
Maybe it'll be one of these.
No. No, we have a much better idea for one of those.
We do. Yes, I'm
We're
just
still
waiting
working
on
that.
the final confirmation.
I don't need Billy Booty Hole Brown thrown in clay because
That would be cool, though.
no, it wouldn't.
Maybe it'll be Christmas ornaments this year.
That I could see, actually. Anybody who would spend money on that, though, I really have to question your judgment.
Yeah. No, well, I take care of the patrons every year, so
Nope. They're not going to be able to do it.
no, they are not.
Anyway, let's get back to this ridiculousness.
Please.
Kanye West, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, whatever he's calling himself now, been throwing around the idea of launching a pornography studio as his latest non-musical offering. Probably because he looks at his quote-unquote wife and says, hey, I could probably get strange people to have sex with her.
Yeah. He's not going to be able to do it, but they will.
Oh, good Lord. That's just, Heather would do that too because
I may have to screenshot this. Look, I'm going to actually take a picture right now
she's a sick, twisted individual anyway.
of this screen.
With that highlighted.
Yes, it's on the screen,
Yep, there you go.
and I'm going to send it to Heather now. So carry on.
A TBT exclusive. Anyway, Pass and his associates are reportedly now in advanced talks with the ex-husband of Stormy Daniels, whose name is, I'm sure this is a real name, Mike Moz, M-O-Z.
Yeah, it's kind of like Miz.
Now, see, I have a guy I used to, and still do from time to time, referee hockey with named Mike Moss, whose last name is M-A-S, as in like no Mas, Roberto Duran. But
Indeed.
Mike Moz, M-O-Z, no, I'm pretty sure that's not real. But then again, who in the porn industry has a real name?
Keith Murray.
I'm
Oh,
sure
sorry.
Stormy Daniels isn't on her birth certificate either. But anyway, they're in process to get the ball rolling on building a supposed Yeezy porn division, which would fall under the parent company of Yeezy Incorporated or whatever.
Industries or yes, whatever.
According to TMZ,
Mhm.
MOZ is a veteran in the is Mosm instead of awesome. That's best. John wins today. This guy Moz is a veteran in the adult industry with over a decade's worth of experience as a producer. How difficult could it be to produce a porn film? Really? I'm gonna turn this camera on. You gonna have sex?
Go ahead.
No.
Have you seen the movie Orgasmo?
I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
No, actually, I've never sat through Orgasmo.
Oh my God. Find it on whatever service you have to find it on. It is one of the most hilarious movies.
That's a Trey Stone, Matt Parker thing, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it then, because I
And
fell asleep
Sancho.
watching South Park last night, which I never do.
See, well, there you go.
Anyway,
You need to find it.
This Moz guy would reportedly be brought in to lead the new effort, which could launch as early as summer. Yeah, it's all in the cleanup, I'm sure.
Lil Kim's got to
day
dance
af-
for that.
Last Wednesday, after the outlet reported it, Pass shared a post on Instagram simply reading, 4/24/24, Yeezy porn is coming, with the childish spelling,
The colloquial, yes.
colloquialism of the final word. Yes. It's overlaid with a woman's voice saying, go to Yeezy.com. Ugh.
So one, I'm not doing that for any reason.
No, me either.
Two,
So-
no.
And then his past seems to have a complicated relationship with pornography. He wasn't shy when it came to rapping about his fantasies with women at the start of his
Or his
career, but
ex-wife.
then something shifted about 5 years ago when he confirmed he converted to Christianity. Well, he even said, I think I could still have sex with Taylor Swift because he made that bitch famous, according to his own words.
Yes. Well, is it in this article or was it a
And
different
Taylor
one I
was
didn't
like,
send you?
No.
Where he said he also wanted to have a threesome with him, his wife, and Michelle Obama.
I sent that to you.
I know. That's why I said I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
in this one or the other one. Heather, by the way, is at work and can't log on. She said to tell everybody she says hi, and we got 3 crying, laughing emojis when she saw the screenshot.
The chocolate starfish. That's
Yes.
hysterical. Yeah. So during a 2019 interview with Apple Music, Zane Lowe, Pass, who served as a creative director for the Pornhub Awards,
Because that's a thing.
complete with merch, by the way.
Does
said that-
the merch have Exhibit's likeness on it?
I hope not. Said that Playboy magazine was his gateway to a full-on pornography addiction. I don't think Playboy is considered porn.
No, but it was a gateway. Kind of like Rico Suave,
Oh,
not
kinda like
rap,
sniff-
but it
kinda
is
like
a gateway into hip
kind of
hop.
like sniffing glue, which is not really a drug, is a gateway drug to inhaling shit.
Yes.
He said, my dad had
A
a
full-on
full-on
liquid nail and
magazine laid
huffing.
out when I was 5. Playboy was a gateway to a full-on addiction. It has impacted every choice I've made in my life from age 5 to now. Well,
Like
look
so,
at-
Playboy
look-
magazine
look at your wife.
has impacted every decision he's made from what age?
5.
5. All right. So you run around telling Chester the molester jokes at 5. Is that?
Pretty much, yes. I mean, we all did that. So that's 41 years of being addicted to
5 years old. Playboy magazine. 5.
yes. Now you sound like Rain Man. Yeah. I
5.
read Playboy when I was 5.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, and then he said pornography destroyed his family, but now a lot has changed because his wife, who was 29, has been
His ex-wife was in a
photographed
porn. What?
a number of times by multiple people in, I guess, what you could consider clothing.
Yes.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Hit us with new school news,
I was
and
gonna say
we'll
before
throw to a
we-
break.
because the perfect timing, actually.
Yes.
And now, new school news.
Yes.
Stunna Girl doesn't plan on exposing the person who slapped her butt during a concert.
And that is enough of that shit.
Who the
Let us
fuck
move
is
on.
that? I have no idea. We're going to
You're
take
not
a
supposed
break,
to know.
and when we come back, it will be time for our special presentation and our special guest, one of our favorite people, coming right back after the break on Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 536.
Good morning, sir.
Adam!
How are you?
Long time no see, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Hey, I figured you'd wear your Cincinnati hat today. I just bought the Mets City Connect hat yesterday. I was down in the city, so
That looks good. I thought that was one of the best looking City
Yeah.
Connect hats that they had.
the
Too
bridge
bad they
is
can't
cool.
win when they're wearing it.
No, they're like 0-4 when they wear the unis. The bill is supposed to look like the concrete of the city,
Oh,
and then underneath here, if you can see on the inside, that's the subway lines.
Nobody can see that.
oh yeah. I can see that. That's really cool.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff. And the button on the top is the same color purple as the 7-line logo, which is the subway that takes you to Citi Field.
Not
They
the
put
same
a-
color purple that Shay used to be.
And not the same color purple that Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah were in. So,
Yeah, I didn't love the Cincinnati one. Their Connect.
oh, that just says Cincy.
I mean, it's all right. It's not my favorite.
It's
You know what it is?
fine.
It's beer league softball look to me.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Mets one, I mean, there's a lot of people because people hate. But it is the best of a bad bunch out of all the City Connects. I really always liked the Nationals one with the cherry blossoms on it.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was a pretty sharp looking one too.
Yeah.
But Philadelphia's, they look like beer league uniforms too. So
Frankie had to get his shit hats
Yeah,
coming
of
in.
course
He
he
hasn't
did.
done that in a while, so
well, we haven't seen Adam for a while. So
this
There
is
you
true.
go.
This is true.
There you
Uh,
go.
let's see. What do we have set up? So, how did your coaching go?
Well, it's not only coaching. I actually run a league.
Oh, really?
So I have 135 kids signed up from 3rd to 11th grader. And I now employ like 22 students and
To run everything?
yeah, to help. I mean, I
Yeah.
got refs, scorekeepers, all that stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, I go from 9 till 3.
It's a long day. I remember I used to coach little league and I was on the board. So like even when I wasn't there for our games. I had like board duty and I had to be there all day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it makes for long weeks.
That's why I got out of all of that stuff. When
Well,
my
yeah, I'm
kid
out
played,
of it now. I mean,
I would run the scorebook and serve as an unofficial assistant coach, which was just enough for me to make sure I was sitting close enough to hear the umpire misinterpret rules, so I knew, when I could zing him with shit.
Yeah.
but you had essentially no responsibility outside of I'm here for the game, I'm out.
Right. Once
That's the way I
last
would've
out
liked
was
it.
recorded, and I put it in the scorebook, signed off that it was done. Bye. I'm going to get ice cream with my kid.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah, no, long days at the fields.
And
now,
I
you guys, everything good? You had a good first hour?
Yeah, good enough.
We've been good
It's
enough for
still
10
us,
years.
it's
Good enough is fantastic for us after 10 years.
we are the okayest show that I have ever been a part of.
We are the okayest podcast
Yeah.
anybody's ever going to listen to.
That's right.
There you
No,
go.
I'm mentally prepping for the Rangers hockey game later on. So
All right.
another big week at Madison Square Garden with
Yeah.
the Rangers and the Knicks both moving
The
on
Knickerbockers,
to
yes.
round 2. So we're happy up in New York.
We are.
And
Nice.
yes,
All right.
the transplanted New Yorkers happy too. So.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna hit this. Let me hit the drop first. That would make sense, so I don't have to enter that later.
Hit the drop, hit the Charlie Brown music.
Yep.
And then we will
All
bring
right.
in the man, the myth, the legend.
So it is with a tree. Who's your mama?
Yo, what's up? This your boy Uncle Luke, and you're listening to my boy Jamie and Billy on Mr. Throwback Thursday. But you know, I gotta say this. These boys be talking some real things on Throwback Thursday. So make sure y'all check them out. It's your boy Uncle Luke.
You know I hate that drop, right? Welcome back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 536. Thank you, Uncle Luke, for once again making me feel like I'm 5. And welcoming to the show, you heard the Charlie Brown music. Once again, we are joined by one of our best friends of the show and the man, the myth, the legend himself from the Hip Hop Museum, which now has to be stated like the Ohio State University.
Yes, and
The
the album.
Hip Hop Museum and the album. Oh, no, he's not Mantronics. He's Adam Silverstein. Come on, man. Adam, how are you?
Great. Thank you guys so
I thought
much.
we had
Always a
Mantronics in
pleasure.
for a second, the way you just said that. I was like, wait a second, that's not what my notes say.
The
It was from
album,
The
yes.
album.
So what's new, man? It's been a while.
It has been a while. It has been a while. Well, I mean, I will tell you that the construction phase, the interior construction phase is happening. And it is like, I mean, I've never built a museum before.
Right.
And just the amount of things that need to be dealt with.
I can't
It's-
even
it's-
imagine.
Unbelievable. So, as listeners may want to know, we've got now the core and the shell,
Yes.
and that's basically finished. That should be handed over to us shortly, within either this week or next week, or relatively shortly. And then you have to now fit it out, right?
Right.
So that means you need a project manager, you need a construction manager, you need the lighting consultants, you need the safety consultants. There are so many different levels that you need to go into building this museum or just fitting it out.
Right. Plus, you're doing it in New York, and everybody has to be included doing. Yeah. New York is very, very specific about who can do what and who has to be there to do what.
But that
Right.
being said, it makes sense because New York has some of the biggest, tallest, most well-done buildings in the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
So I'm sure those are the reasons why they're
Yeah,
so
but
meticulous
all those-
with everything that has to be done.
No, it's all those unions want to be
Yeah, I was
represented, is
gonna
what
say,
it is.
The unions and the
Yeah.
But it's also just you need it. I mean, you
Right,
want
right.
a safety engineer. You want someone know that when you walk into the museum, you're going to be safe. You're going to need
That would be
the
good.
lighting. You're going to need the sound. You're going to need all of this. But it's a lot to put together. It's a big puzzle that you're always putting together. You're dealing with our time schedules, their time schedules. So it's massive, but it's very exciting. One of the more exciting stuff or things that we do right now is Pete and Paradise are working with. Oh, look at this! People, I got people calling me right now saying I got to do work for them.
You got problems.
Yeah.
There's probably Peter Paradise on the phone right there. They're like Beetlejuice.
Why are you on
Mention
and
their
we're not
name,
there?
And there they are.
I just on Unsung. I don't know if you watch Unsung. If you get Unsung on TV One here, they were just doing a thing on DJs, and Grand Wizard Theodore was on, and he was walking through. He had his hard hat on, so he was still walking through the inside, and that's how I got to see. I was like, "Oh, they're starting on the inside now."
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say before I got rudely interrupted by my phone.
Yes, not by me this time, by your phone. Good.
That's right. That's right. We're working with our exhibit designers right now, and we're starting to sort of map out what that story is going to be. What artifacts are going to be there? What are the experiences that are going to be there? Because it's not just looking at artifacts. It's also looking at, like when you walk in there, I mean, I'm telling you, the idea is like you're on this high. And then you it's like a movie, it's like a movie. And that's how the exhibit designers kind of explained it to us. Is like, look, you're going in and you're going to have like the first act, the second, and anyways, it's just amazing. So you're trying to fit all this stuff in. You're trying to make sure you have all the right voices there. It's not just Pete and Paradise. We actually have Grandmaster Kaz helping now.
Nice.
We've got a few other artists and hip hop historians that we're starting to bring in even a little bit more and get some answers, or not answers, but their opinions,
their input, and
we just we've got a new guy working with us. He's really focused on Canadian hip hop, and
nice.
He wants to get in there. We had Torch from Germany, who's a legend. One of the early MCs, B-boys, DJs from Heidelberg, Germany. He just came and visited. So, he wants that international flavor in there. And he's right.
Well, it being the hip hop museum, not the New York Hip Hop Museum, you're going to need that.
Exactly. So it's really now trying to synthesize these voices and these, experiences into a museum opening. Not everyone will be happy. I know that.
They never are.
I was going to say the next time everybody's happy will be the first time it ever happens.
Yeah.
But I do know that, we are intentionally thinking about trying to encompass as much as possible. It's not just, hey, let's throw something together and get it open. No, this is really thoughtful. There's a lot of people meeting about it every week. Every day, practically, really, when you break it down, getting in great donations still. I mean, thank you again to you gentlemen for the Mr. Throwback Thursday collection. Absolutely fantastic.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this. I mean, I know I've sent pictures, but see how this comes through.
Oh, yeah. You said that was that biz thing.
Yeah.
You wanted to give that to
Dougie, if I can. If not, it'll go to you guys. But
yeah. Well, I'm sure at one point we can make that happen.
One way or another. Like I said, if it doesn't go to him, I would rather you guys had it as a part of a biz.
Yeah, the biz.
Handwritten.
Exactly. Well, I mean, listen, when we have our opening and when we have our different ceremonies around the opening, and you guys can hopefully give it to them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. So
so really just every day, new things, new donations, new loans. I mean, because obviously not everyone wants to donate. So
right.
Loans too. And now Pete is just in Paradise are trying to put it all in their minds, So,
Yeah, and the museum is a living, breathing thing too. So as where people aren't necessarily gonna be happy with what starts, maybe they weren't included or their friend or their favorite. As it goes along, exhibits will change and things will be added, and that stuff can eventually show up. So people have to realize, it's not a static display.
It is a
Right.
living, breathing place, but there is a finite space that you
Right.
can't have everything all at once. So
Mhm.
hopefully there's enough people that can swallow their pride and say, yes, I may have some stuff in there in the future. If there's no room for it now, it's, wait your turn.
Plus
You're
you
not
have
forgotten, but
right. You have I don't know if you still do. I don't want to speak out of turn. Your virtual world,
yep.
where things that may not fit in the museum at the time, where you have unlimited space for people to go out and walk around. Have you been on since we did that walkthrough?
Me personally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you'd been on since that.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't know. You meant on the on your
Well,
show. I
right.
don't remember.
No.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
not
think
in the
he
virtual
has.
world. On the show to talk about
Right.
what that
you
was.
still you guys still owe me some information on when we're getting the posse in the virtual space.
You tell me what it is that you need, and I will get it to you.
You tell me when you want to do it,
Mhm.
and I'll welcome you there. I mean, we can all go in anytime. It's open to the public right now.
Yeah,
It's
so-
official. So it's SPATIAL,
yeah.
I think .io.
I think it is. Yes.
And you can go in and just type the Hip Hop Museum, and you can see the donor gallery. You could go into the subway. You can go into
Right.
the studio, and you can go into the club. And we're working on maybe a few other spaces right now, which really exciting, and a few extra things in there too. I got some videos that I want to have on, constant rotation there.
Mhm.
We're putting in another, like, sort of, it's an art piece in the virtual world. So, anyways, bottom line is it's there for people to obviously donate their stuff so we can show it there too. So very good. Thank you, Jamie, for
Of
that.
course. Yeah, and you don't need a virtual reality headset. I'm guessing that it helps immensely if you do. I went in when we were on. I went in just on my laptop with a mouse, and the only difficulty I had really was trying to figure out how to talk.
Yep.
There's
Now,
some weird
I don't know
settings that I
about
had
that.
to
That
change.
should be easier now. So interestingly enough, we started off with Microsoft's AltSpace,
Right.
and that one actually was better with the goggles.
Mhm.
Then when they actually shut that down, we moved it over to Spatial,
Right.
and now it's actually probably better on your computer than it is with
Nice.
with the headsets.
'Cause I know a lot of people, that was a hang up for them, is like, well, I don't have a headset, so I'm not going to be able to. But when I went in and did it that day, I did not have one, and it was fine.
Exactly. And now what we're actually starting to flirt with is how to gamify it. So one of the things that you can do is you can search for different artifacts or
6.
different situations. And then if you reach all these different goals, then you get a hat, a
I have
virtual
the
hat. Yeah, I know. I thought you did.
That was well, I'd gone in early that day, so I could get a feel for what was going on before the big meeting. And it said, find these things. I'm like, well, okay, I need to look around anyway. And I went and found them and said, you've earned this hat. I'm like, well, let me put that hat on real quick.
That's right. You were actually the only one, I think, that had earned it right away. You were the first one.
Yeah, because I was excited.
Yeah. So no, it's a great thing. I mean, obviously, it's like everything. We're always trying to get funding for these projects.
Mhm.
We've done really well. We've got another grant. I don't know if it was city or state. I don't remember offhand, but we're about 10 million off of what we need to raise. So we're trying to get that final push for
In the next year.
Yeah, and that would mean that if that happens, the museum itself will open with all the accoutrements that we want it to be. It's in its full glory.
Mhm.
If we don't, it'll have to be phased in. But I think we're doing pretty well. And I think right now you're starting to get a little bit of that fear of missing out. You know, people don't want to be left out.
Yeah. You know, with all the money we've raised for you, I'm sure you'd be right around the corner from having everything you've needed. You know, we give you like $125 here and there, you know.
Hey, but that's the thing. I mean, yeah, okay. So like when I first got involved with the hip hop museum, and they did a Kickstarter campaign for just a virtual museum. And I remember I donated $250. I put $250, but it was Kickstarter, so I got it back because it didn't succeed.
It didn't go, yeah.
And when I saw that, I thought to myself, how is that even possible? If every hip hopper donated $1, or everyone who was influenced by hip hop or can thank hip hop for anything, $1, this museum would be funded for the rest of its existence.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't understand why that wasn't the case. I mean, I've now
right there
learned
with you.
why. And I still don't ultimately understand it, but I sort of get it now. Because people don't always want to invest in ideas. They need to see concrete.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that I think we've got that, I think it's going to help a lot.
Yeah. Now that it's not just a vision, it's an actual site, you know.
That's right. Oh, and speaking of raising money, and not to totally divert, but the Paver program.
Yes, I would have gotten to it if you didn't. So
we're actually revamping it. It's revamping it, but you as original Paver people, just like I am an original Paver.
I assumed you would be. Yes,
we're the OPs.
You know, Pavers, original Pavers. Oh, that's good. That's good.
You can have that. That's free. You down with OPP, the original Paver people? That's us. We're the OPP.
Oh, even better.
See?
Even
Write
better.
it down. That's all yours. That's my donation. Naughty by Nature presents the OPPs, the original Paver people. We get Tretch to sign off on that.
We'll see. Maybe he'll get a Paver.
Maybe.
But so we're revamping it. It's going to be hopefully released, I don't know, within the next 2 weeks. We just have to get a few things because when it first started, we didn't really have the architects involved. And they said, oh, well, you got to do a little bit different with the way you lay these out. And so that's what we've had to kind of revamp. It's all good, but the OPPs, the original Paver people, will have a special section in there that will be, I guess, maybe I don't want to say advanced, but it's like maybe more prime property because they were the initial original supporters of that program.
Nice.
So that will happen, and we'll keep you posted on that. But I know it. I know about it, you guys having that, and it's important that you guys get it, but also myself.
That you get it, of course. Yes,
absolutely.
Well, that's what we got. You know, when you put in for how many of these do you want to buy, the replicas? So we put in for 3. So that way I got one, Bill got one, and we were going to give one away on the show for all the people that helped us raise the money in order to purchase it, because we did a lot of raffles and stuff like that. So all those people are involved.
Yeah, we're actually going to, at least in the, this word has escaped me, but I would just say the area right outside, like the loft. It's not the loft. What is it? The awning. Anyways, that area, it's going to be, we're going to have a boombox sort of layout.
Oh,
and
nice.
So the Pavers will be a part of a boombox.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, trust me, I got you.
I have no doubt.
Sure it's going to happen. It just had to, you know, these are the things that happen when you're building a museum. You think you got one thing, but then you got to pivot.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you wanted to start a virtual through Kickstarter. That didn't quite work. So we just went and built a full one. So
exactly.
You got to be able to change on the fly.
You do.
Yeah. No, and really our biggest thing was just being able to donate, you know, any bonus after that is, you know.
Well,
nice
what we are doing now, so we had the Revolution of Hip Hop, if you guys remember. This was the exhibit in the Bronx Terminal Market, which is right across the street from the Bronx Point Project. So now if you go to the Bronx, you will see a construction site, but it's actually now starting to, I guess the construction barriers are kind of down because the people have started to move in.
Oh, nice.
So this is, again, for those who don't know, we're a part of a project. It's affordable housing, redevelopment of the park space, and we are the cultural anchor. There will also be some public spaces. It was built on an abandoned lot. So it's not tearing down or kicking out anybody.
Right.
It is using land that was not being used and now developing it into an economic hub, we believe, for people, for outside money to come into the Bronx and hopefully stay there. If everything goes the way the vision is that not only will there be this museum, but there'll be the hip hop restaurant, the hip hop coffee shop, the hip hop art gallery, so that when you go into the Bronx, you are going to get this whole hip hop experience. You go to New York, you want that. And this museum will ideally be the center point of that. So,
yeah, because the Bronx to me right now is still just the zoo and Yankee Stadium.
Right.
That's and somewhere I drive through.
Right. And to a lot of people, that is the case. Now, obviously, you have Bronxite, they're going to be like, no, there's more.
Well, yeah.
But I get you.
The outside world.
I get you. It's not, it's totally a valid point, but the museum wants to make sure that is changed.
Right.
And so that, I'm going to New York for hip hop. I know there's one place I got to make sure I go to and guarantee get it. And then if you know more, you're in tune more, then you can go to the other spots to hit up wherever. You go to the Brooklyn library to see the Jay-Z exhibit. You might go downtown to see something else or whatnot. But the center starting point should be the museum. And then obviously Grandmaster Kaz has the Hush tours.
Yes, he does.
And so that should be a part of the whole experience. You go to the museum, but you also get this tour. Then you can go see all the iconic spots. So anyways, you get the whole idea. So the next step is now taking this Bronx Terminal Market exhibit that we had and now turning it into a exhibit space, a store, and a content capture studio. So the idea behind it, what's that?
That's a lot of stuff happening there.
It is. And you should see the design. It's actually really cool. But the idea would be we have these movable walls. So you go into the store and when you're not, when the store hours are off and then you want to use the exhibit space, the doors open and then you got this extra big space. What is a content capture studio? Thank you for asking, listener. I didn't see who it was.
It's Mr. Cranky Pants. That's what the MCP is. Yeah.
Got it, Mr. Cranky Pants. So imagine that you are making a donation to the museum, right?
As he does.
Right. A physical artifact, let's just say. Or let's say Mr. Cranky Pants had an amazing MC battle or DJ battle or whatever kind of stuff that led him to be cranky. And we want to know the whole story of that. Well, now you can come into the content capture studio and we can either record video, audio, we could do a podcast, whatever you need to do to start capturing the stories. Because, we just had Mr. C pass, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he was on the premises, doing the Big E event that we had. It would have been so nice to have a little bit of time with him at this studio or this content capture studio where he would come and tell a little bit about who he is, what he's done, why it's important that he's DJing this event, why is that relevant, and for people to know. And then the museum can then use that all throughout. So I imagine that at some point you two should be there talking about the donation you made. Yeah, we did something here on your show, but it'd also be nice to have you in there looking over the items, talking about them, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the goal that we're building now.
Cool.
We're doing now.
Yeah, that's that is something can't say that I've seen anywhere else.
Right. Well, it's like StoryCorps. You know that whole thing of StoryCorps where they just have people come in the booth and start talking story. It's not that, but it's sort of like
But
that.
it's sort of like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's almost like the confessionals in those reality shows where people come in and tell their story and they capture it and then they, then it becomes a part of the presentation.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because then when they see donated by Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, they're like, well, who the hell are these guys?
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's a video that pops up that says, hey, we're two idiots who grew up together listening to this music from a car parked on a hill at a swim and tennis club so that we could pick
That
up
we were not members of, yes.
that we were not members of and had to sneak in because it was the only place we could pick up DJ
Yes,
Red
I've
Alert.
heard. Yeah.
So, and people are
But that's like in the virtual museum, when you go up to like some of the pictures, the artwork that people have done, you hear them talking about their artwork. I thought that was really cool.
that is.
Yep. Right, but what that in the past was, hey, look, can you record a little audio on your phone and
Right.
send it to us?
Send it to us. Yeah.
And great. In some cases, that's going to work.
But this is an evolution of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to be able to have your story and be able to use it in our virtual museum, in the regular museum. I just want to have access to it where I don't have to keep on asking everybody to get me something later. Now, listen, that's going to happen. I know that.
Well, yeah.
But if I could get the definitive Mr. Throwback Thursday story,
Yeah.
come on. And then you search our archives and collections, type in Mr. Throwback Thursday. You're going to see everything you donated. You're going to see your story. You're probably going to get links or to each podcast, so all the historical stuff that you guys have captured.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't pay attention to that
Maybe
stuff.
links to some of the interviews
I was there, but
But there's
might be cool for somebody.
You guys have had great interviews.
We have.
And maybe not you two, but
No, not us. We were there for great interviews that happened on our show.
Yes. We actually just talked to Gene Groove Allen last week.
Yeah, from Groove Beat Chill.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we talked to him last week. That was a fun show.
Right. But let's be clear. People are going to want to know more about Groove Beat Chill at some point. They're going to do some research. Where's the content? Where's the stories? What's coming out of his mouth? And there's Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast. So yeah, man, this is what's going on.
Sounds like a
Do you know anything
card
about the
catalog
next
of the library?
Yeah,
when
card
we were
catalog.
kids.
Do you know anything about the second season of Treasures?
I know that it's not happening. I don't think with A&E.
Really? See, now that's news.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen that way.
So, second season potentially still happening, just not necessarily happening where it happened before.
Exactly.
Okay, good enough.
I mean, it could happen, but the way I see it, it's probably not. And
It doesn't look like
again,
it's
I
gonna
could probably let Ed and Pete and Paradise talk to you about it, but I can tell you right now, they're not filming it.
Gotcha. That's all I need. Just small update until we can get a hold of them.
Yeah. But it was such a great show.
It was. I would turn it on just to watch Yo-Yo.
Apparently, everyone just gives to Yo-Yo. So
I know that's
why we're amazed at her ability to procure things.
Also an awesome interview.
What's that?
Also, one of the more awesome interviews we had was with Yo-Yo.
Yeah, she's
great.
When she was
She's
on.
great. She actually, we started an associate board where it's a way to get artists more involved. So we have, we have our board of trustees, we have our advisory board, but we have an associate board, which not only is artists or industry folks, but it's also, there's a bit of a financial commitment to it. Yo-Yo's is a part of that. Papoose is a part of that. So starting to get some, artists and industry folks
Well, that's
involved
good.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what's about to happen.
And then you got us OPPs, you know.
OPP, baby.
My one donation to this whole show. I came up with that.
Yeah, 3B
When you
comes
got
up
it,
with
you got
OPP.
it.
Oh,
No.
stop with the 3B. Thanks, Cool Kim, for that, by the way. That was another great interview, by the way.
Yeah,
Cool
Cool
Kim
Kim on, and he labeled him Billy Booty Hole Brown.
Ooh.
So that has become quite the
There's a
thing.
t-shirt.
Did you get a drop of that?
Billy Booty Hole Brown. Yes, I do.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt.
Yeah, there's
And-
a t-shirt. Only two people have it. Kim
Yeah,
and
you
me.
and Cool Kim. But it says Billy Booty Hole Brown in the colors.
And the stylized letters.
Yes, of the UMCs.
Yes.
So I don't know if I have a picture of that or not.
You did at one point.
I did. I'm sitting here. I had to write down to edit out the garbage conversation I'm having.
No, we
One,
were talking about
31.
some news article. There was a thing with, I guess, Sexy Red had posted some kind of video, some explicit video, and he said, "You watched it, didn't you?" I said, "No, I'm just reporting on what we talked about." He just kept on it. He's like, "You watched it."
Billy watched it.
Really watched it. Jamie co-signed. He
Yeah.
said, and I'm like, what? And he was like a dog with a bone on that thing.
Oh yeah, that one was fun.
And then
Yeah, well,
3B,
you know
3B
that.
was born. I've been called worse
Yep.
on this show, so
You have. Yeah,
I don't know.
have it.
That's a pretty good nickname, man.
It is.
the T-shirt's actually pretty funny. It's just not anything I can wear out in public because,
Oh, sure you can.
yeah, imagine making that explanation in the produce department at Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
that?
Pull it up here.
I love how you were so specific about where you would get questioned about that shirt.
Yeah, because
I've been there enough. I know that's where the question's coming up.
That's
The produce section.
That's where all
Here,
the gossip happens.
There it is.
Oh,
there it
wow.
is. I can't look at that T-shirt.
Quality.
That's one of the words I'd use for it.
Who laid that out?
My friend Pumice.
Okay.
He does a lot of our stuff for us. Like I throw ideas at him. He has a website called Melted Mics, and he does a lot of hip hop song lyrics with a picture. It's really good. But anyway, so I usually draw something or come up with an idea, and I go, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And he goes, "God, you're awful at this. Give it to me and let me fix it." So
He
That's
did
where-
that with our theme song.
That's,
did
how,
that
that's
with-
like how I do the dishes, and then my wife's like, "Why are you doing it? Let me just do it better." And I was like,
yes,
okay.
that is Pumice.
Yes.
I have great ideas, but I am not very good graphically. So I go,
But let's be
Here.
clear, you don't want to do it. You want him to come and take it.
I want
from
him
you.
to do it because he does it right.
Because he does it really well. Yeah. We had
Yes.
a theme song for this show, and it was meh.
Yeah,
and then-
it was one episode.
And then Pumice heard it and goes, "No, let me do this." And now 536 episodes later, it's the same theme that he did on episode
Yep.
2. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he designed the OE style label for the mugs and the Billy.
Yeah,
Booty Hole
another.
Brown
I did
t-shirt.
this, and then I sent it to him. And said, "What do you think?" And he said, "Let me fix it." And of course, he made it better. He changed some sizing and some
And now
alignment, and yeah, he did. He does things better.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Big up him.
Yes. Shout out to Pumice T. Mendola over at
Yes.
Melted Mics.
So, what else is going on with you?
I'll tell you. That's the main stuff.
Well, that's the
The-
huge part. Now that
Yeah,
there's
the
tangible
fine art
things-
hip hop. We're looking. We probably got 2 more auctions coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
Looking to do one of an artist named Justin Bua. Do you know Bua's work?
Yeah, I knew Boo's work. He was in Beat Street, wasn't he?
He might have been.
I think he's in the dance. He's not dancing, but I think he's in the dance scene.
We've talked about Justin Boo on this show.
Yeah.
A long time ago, but
Yeah, no, he's got some really dope work.
Yeah. So a good friend of mine is a purchaser of his original artwork.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's got some of the big ones, like the big ones. And we're talking about getting them up on auction. And
Nice. Again, I have no money for that kind of product.
No.
But
yeah, well, I'll have to do a show and show some of the art to your listeners, just because it's really unbelievable stuff.
yeah, I got a hard time coming up with the money for the lithographs or whatever that he does.
Oh, yeah.
I got a hard time affording those, let alone his original work.
I know.
Not saying it's not worth it. I just don't have it.
I know. Well, we need to find the people who do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So there's that. That's been going on. That's still moving and shaking. So happy about that. And then, I mean, personally, I've actually been playing records now at a few bars around.
At your show? Nice.
Yeah, it's
to
there's this
hear.
great listening bar called Kasheme, and they've got 3 different rooms, and they have these crazy mixers, like knob mixers, not a crossfader.
Right.
So it's just, you're really just playing the record, and they want you to play records that not everyone hears. So it's no requests, and it's rare stuff, and
Deep
I
cuts.
absolutely love it.
That would be something I would dig. I don't want to hear, Baby Got Back 38 times at a wedding. I want you to go deep. Play me Mix-a-Lot's Iron Man if you're playing Mix-a-Lot.
Right,
Hip
right.
hop soldier.
There you go.
Oh, he was in Beat Street.
Yeah, I thought so.
Nice.
Go back and look at this the dance battle. The big one that ends with Crazy Legs spinning and taking his shoes off, putting them behind his head
Yep.
during
Well,
that battle.
It's interesting. There was a book that I actually bought out here. It was, I'm not sure if it was a hip hop book or a breaking book. And it was I think it was in German or something. It was, just this crazy book. And it had a picture of Justin Bua in like a b-boy stance. And it had Reggie Peters, who used to, who works at the museum.
Wow.
Yeah. So these 2 guys were in a breakdance crew, a break-in crew, and happened to be in like some weird ass book. So it's I definitely know Justin Bua has a lot of early dance credentials. So
Yep. Yeah, he was in that scene. John said, the one we use in the show intro, which is the one where Legs ends with the shoes over his head in the bridge. Yeah. Just like Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Breaking.
right.
So
Oh yeah, that's right. Huh?
this weird things that you pick
Wasn't he
up.
wearing some crazy outfit?
Oh yeah, he was. He was wearing like a wrestling, not a singlet, but he had the thin tank top on. And yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then let's see what else. Geez, I don't know. I'm trying to stop buying stuff for me personally, but just go to donate to the museum. But I did get some cool figures. I don't know. Are you guys checking out any of these hip hop toys figures and the Super
Yes.
Sevens?
Yeah, I got a whole lot of Super 7
I was
stuff
gonna
here.
say, Jamie is all about the Super 7s.
Yeah,
In fact, Czarface is on your
yes, I got
computer, isn't he?
my Czarface
Oh,
Ultimate.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I also have the Dark Czar, the Czarface Noir Ultimate ordered. I have ODB on the welfare card one. I have that one.
I got that.
I have every Czarface reaction figure that's come out from Super 7 over there.
Did you get the new KRS-One?
KRS-One? Not yet, no.
I ordered it.
I was looking at it. I also have, this one did not come. Oh, this did come from Super 7. LL Cool J Soundwave from Transformers.
Oh my, that is amazing.
It's listed, this is going to be hard to see, as a Def Jam.
Uh-huh.
So when this came out, there was a sticker over top of this. and it said Def Jam / Soundwave. But you could peel the sticker off, and it showed LL Cool J on the actual board. So this is kind of sticky still from the residue. But yeah, that's one of the earlier Super 7 ones.
You're addicted.
Oh yeah. And it really started with Czarface for me, because I didn't really know that Super 7 what they were.
Yeah.
And when Czarface came out with their first reaction figure, I saw Esoteric had posted it saying, you can get this at Super 7. I'm like, I need to go to Super 7 and see what the heck this is. And then, you go down a rabbit hole there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I also have the breaking one. Hold on.
Oh, I seen those.
So it comes in a boombox.
Mm.
And then you can lift it up. It's rattling around all over the place here. And it's got the TKO crew inside.
That is amazing.
All this noise, I'm going to have to edit out. Rattle.
So this is the one that I got that I think it's Hip Hop Toys. It's the Blastmaster.
The Blastmaster? Yeah. Nice.
Seconds,
Teacher will begin to speak.
Yeah,
Let us begin.
This was a cool one. I really love that one. So actually, then just to share some more crazy toy stuff,
Yes.
there's a guy in Australia, and he has been collecting hip hop toys since I don't know how long, but long enough. And his name is Trent Slingshot.
Tell me that's his given name.
I don't know if it's his given name.
That'd be so awesome.
That'd be fantastic if it was.
But I think that's his hip hop name. Anyways, look him up. Look him up, because he not only collects hip hop toys, but he is responsible for bringing most of the hip hop acts to Australia.
I just pulled up his Instagram. It says promoter and agent, Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. I'm like, I'm guessing that's him.
Yeah. So he has a book out it's all the flyers that he did for his shows that he brought out. I've got the book. It is amazing because you get to see who he brought out to Australia and obviously New Zealand and Asia. He is doing amazing things. So anyways, he has got a fantastic hip hop toy collection. We've been talking to him for years. And when we're ready to do a toy exhibit, he's going to help with that. So it's not only these Super 7s and all these hip hop toys, but this goes back the Master P toy, the Biz toy,
Wow.
the Snoop toy,
Like the Flavor Flav clock.
I mean, there's a Flavor Flav clock toy, right? You're talking an alarm clock one, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think it was Echo who did that.
Yeah. So you can imagine what this guy's collection's like. It's unbelievable. And
We need from Super 7, Jay. We need the Flavor Flav Taylor Swift combo, since he's such a big Swiftie now. I guarantee.
Look, the one thing I tried to get from Super 7, I could not get my hands on it because I was late to the game, was all the Cool Keith reaction figures they did. They had a Black Elvis one. They had a Dr. Octagon one. They had a straight Cool Keith one. I was like, man.
Did they have a Lonnie Parachute one?
They did not. Lonnie Parachute is new.
Did you guys ever skateboard like when you were
He was a
younger?
skateboarder. Not
I
me
was,
so
yeah.
much. He was a skateboarder.
So Super 7 is also doing all the Powell Peralta ones.
Really? So I get all the Bones Brigade and
Well, so they have like the Hawk, Tony Hawk guy,
Yep.
but it's the skeleton Hawk.
yeah, like just the skull.
Oh, man. You got to check these out. These are amazing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I was a Santa Cruz guy. I had a Rob Roscop street style with the big face on the bottom. Yeah, those were the
That was a good
days.
one. I had a GSP.
I remember you talking about those
GSP?
names
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm in. It's funny. Now I'm in the Virginia Beach area, and I go back and I watch like the Mark Gator Rogowski story before he went to jail, and like a lot of his stuff is from Mount Trashmore, which is in Virginia Beach, the skate park there. I'm like, man, if I had been here then, but I was in New York then.
Yeah. You were getting that hip hop bug.
I was. And I now keep that. I still do that today, and I don't skateboard anymore. So
Yeah.
the right
Not
one
at our
won.
age.
No.
Although I'm still stupid enough to lace up my ice skates, I still referee a couple of times a week. But
Yeah, not with my
Really?
knees. That's my answer. Not with
Yeah.
my knees.
no, well, my knees are starting to sound like Orville Redenbacher in the morning now too. But the pay is still good, so I still
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for taking your time
Yes,
and hanging out with us, Adam.
It's always a pleasure, and I won't be a stranger for so long next time.
Yeah, it'll make me hunt you down.
We
Yeah.
need to have another one of those round tables where Adam's here with Ed and Pete and Paradise, and we'll just do the whole show with.
And we'll just sit back and let you guys talk to each other.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. Then you'll have Pete like telling me what to do. Pete will be like, "Come on, man, we got to get this agreement in place. Let's get it done."
Pete is all business. That's probably why he's so good to have as part of this whole thing, because I can see where Pete would be. We got a time schedule.
Yeah. Well, Pete gets so deep. I mean, okay, here's another cool story. I got a cool story
Oh,
before
good.
we go. This will be my last story.
Taking
So
notes.
there is a graffiti artist, an original artist. His name is Steve. He goes by SJK171. So if you look up SJK171, I mean, this is original. Like before they were doing bubble letters, it was just basic tags, and
Mhm.
then a little bit of a flourish eventually. So SJK has been reaching out to me for a while and saying, "Hey, look, I really love your mission. I'm an original
Yeah,
artist."
I'm looking at the visual art from him right now. Wow.
Yeah. So he was I mean, this is early 70s. I mean, we're talking 72,
All right, here,
71.
I'll put them up over you. Go ahead.
Also known as Steve the Greek.
Yep. So this was you when you start to study the progression of graffiti and aerosol art, this was original stuff. So this was, instead of just tagging and getting your name up, then it started to become art pieces.
Right.
And Steve was one of the original guys in a crew. I mean, Phase 2 was a part of this, I believe, and a number of other artists that was in his crew. I think it was called UAG. I don't want to misspeak, but anyways, so Steve reached out and he says to me, "Hey, look, I really want to be a part of this. I want to donate an original canvas from 1973 that I did. And I want to donate my turntable, and I want to donate a speaker, and he donated a few other things as well."
Mhm.
And then he donated 3 pictures. And the pictures were of an original block party.
Really?
But it was so crazy. I mean, I actually could show it to you. I don't know if I can share
I don't know either.
on here. Maybe
I've
I
never
can.
been on your side, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I could show this, because they are really cool pieces. Amazing pictures. So hold on. Is this all right that I do this?
Of course.
Because I don't want to let me see here. I got the
We will
copyright.
edit this audio part out because if people can't see it, doesn't matter. But the video portion lives on forever.
Yeah, well, what I'll
Or
do
until I
is
delete it.
Okay, so here, let me just show you. See what I can show. Oh, it looks like I can share the screen, the whole
Yep.
screen or window. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of Steve DJing
Okay.
first.
Okay, here. Hold on. I have to add you to stage. There you go.
You able to see that?
Yep.
So that's that's like Steve DJing. Okay. Then I'm going to show you another one. Stay in studio. And I got to present another one.
Yeah,
How do I
but you just-
stop presenting that?
You don't-
Stop
you-
screen. Okay.
Yep.
And
then
then
you gotta load it
let
up
me
again.
show you this block party. This was from, I guess, a neighbor took it, or he said he went up and took it.
Okay, here, add
Are
to
you
stage.
able to see this?
Yeah, I added it to the screen so everybody can see it.
Okay. So look at this. This is a party that him and his friends, they just started. This is around 74. They just started in the street. This was I think in Harlem. And you see the speakers, they have a
Like
string
8 of them. Is that the DJ's booth?
What's that?
This said is the rope around them represent the DJ booth.
Exactly. And this was early in the night or day, and then people started to come more and more, and then this would get bigger and bigger as the night went on. So anyways, those corner speakers, he donated one of those and one of the
brown ones.
What's that?
The brown looking one, tan looking ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me just close this now and get rid of this all so I can stop sharing. Okay. So after he donated them, we were trying to figure out when these were made. And there's actually a part in that picture. I showed Pete and I said, Pete, we're trying to figure out when this is done. Pete studies the picture to the point where he found that underneath the turntable that Steve was using, he had used the actual turntable box, flipped it upside down. You could see the logo of the manufacturer and the model number. And he figured out that was then done. That picture was taken in 74.
Jesus.
Wow.
And then, crazy enough, he has a picture of Disco King Mario turning the same box upside down in another party somewhere else. And it was like 3 years later because you could tell the model numbers were different.
Jesus.
I am so impressed with the detective work that Pete and Paradise are able to do. And the way we can find the historical, they're our own AI, they're the, So anyways.
Ask Pete and Dice, yeah.
Yeah. So SJK171, thank you very much. Big up to you for contributing. He saw the vision of the museum. We're going to have some of his stuff in the museum. Obviously, Pete doing his work with Paradise. It's just amazing. So anyway, thanks for sharing this. Let me share that story. And
of course,
I now that we're talking about the street art and stuff, I have to share this with you. My daughter is in her second year at community college, and they just did their spring drama. It was called This Is Modern Art. It's a story of the graffiti crew that tagged the outside of the Chicago Art Institute back in 2010. They've written a play about it. And it was an amazing performance about the name of the crew. I believe the actual name of the crew was MUL, Made You Look. But in the play, they're called the LOH crew, the Look Over Here crew. And I keep telling her she has to come on here and tell us about the play and how it became. But they did... When they first started it, whoever was doing the music, the first thing they played was the sax hook from They Reminisce Over You. So it had that feel. And then my daughter, who is 20 years old, because of doing this play, has gotten into the bubble letter style. She actually did a lot of the graffiti on the walls for the sets and stuff like that. So don't tell me that kids now aren't influenced by the stuff from years ago, because once she saw it, she's actually very good at it. She's artistic, but I didn't think she had it in her to do bubble letters and stuff like that. But yeah, she's a pretty impressive kid. But the play itself is called This Is Modern Art. If you get a chance to even just read the script on it, it's a fascinating story. And I think it was Idris Goodwin was the playwright who wrote it, but it's based on a true story of 4 people who graffiti bombed the outside of the Chicago Art Institute because they wouldn't let their art be inside the institute, so they put it on the outside.
That's so cool.
And it only lasted for about a day before the sandblasters came and took it off. And then I guess from that point, the 4 of them were on the run and were never caught. But
wow,
pretty interesting stuff. So if you ever hear of a play called This Is Modern Art, that's what it's about. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, man. That sounds awesome. Thank you for sharing that. If you actually have the script, let's donate it to the museum.
I don't
There
know
you
if she
go.
still has her script or if she had to give it back, but I'll check with her.
Okay, sounds
But,
good.
It was pretty cool, and the fact
And then
that
Bill
you
can
know,
sign it.
Yep.
hip hop, graffiti is part of the hip hop. Street art,
It
aerosol
is,
art
yes.
is part of hip hop culture. So
No, that's the whole challenge of this museum. It's not only the emceeing, the DJing, the breaking, and the art. It's the fashion. It's the language.
Right.
It's the knowledge. It's the business. It's beatboxing. It's all these things that you have to make sure you're, doing it right. And it's a lot. So but it's a joy and it's a pleasure, and I feel honored, and I'm just a very lucky person, and I really appreciate.
Yeah, you are.
I'm lucky to be on you two. So
Well, that too. You heard it. He said it. I'm putting it in the board.
yeah,
there you go.
good. Maybe we can take out one of the 15 embarrassing things I've said.
Never.
You got OPP today, dude. You are.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's like you may have struck out twice, but you hit a home run on one.
OPP from 3B. Yeah.
Before I got a solid single.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Next time I could come on, maybe I could go over some artifacts. I could have some pictures ready and just do that. I mean, I know it's
especially now that you know that you can present from your side too.
Yeah, just be cool, because I got to tell you, it just any chance I can show a little love to some of the donors. I mean, you guys know it's really important, and
Well, that's how we met.
That's right.
Yep,
that's right. All right, fellas.
We will
All right, take
continue
care,
to
Adam.
do what we can to make sure that the Hip Hop Museum
Gets its extra 10 mil.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, even if it's $10 at a time, you get
That's
a million
right.
people. You get 1 million people to donate $10. Come on, that's the challenge. There's 1 million people out there that have been affected by hip hop. If 1 million people donate $10, that's the TBT 10 mil challenge. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, respect to you guys.
And you know why I picked $10? Hamilton,
Why?
the hip hop musical. Hamilton was on the $10 bill.
There you go.
There you
brother.
go.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Maybe that was probably a single. That was not a home run. That was a single.
It's
No,
not as good
but-
as OPP.
But
You're
Or
2-3.
3B.
I'm a big fan of Hamilton. I actually thought Hamilton was really well done with the hip hop theme.
I got the 4 record set, so
Mm-hmm.
I got you, man. I got you. All right, gentlemen. Respect to the posse. Love
Yes.
the posse.
And Cranky
Thank
says
you
go
for all
Team
the
Ginger,
support.
of course.
And yeah, Team Ginger. I got it. That's pretty.
Shit
All right,
hat
we'll see you next
notwithstanding,
time.
right, Cranky?
All right. Bye.
Get better
All right,
hats,
see
he
ya.
says. Yes. He's so funny. The one and only Adam Silverstein from the Hip Hop Museum.
Yes.
And not just a friend of the show, there's got to be
pillar of the
something better.
community.
A pillar of the community. No, just a believer in us, which is something.
Yes.
And
It's like him and Alfredo.
yeah, him and the rest of the guys, Pete and Paradise and Rocky and everybody else. So the Hip Hop Museum getting closer and closer to the big launch, and we cannot wait for it. And as you heard, we're probably going to be there when it happens.
Yes.
So
So you better clear your schedule.
clear your schedules. We will let you know of dates. And are they patrons? No, we
Ah.
are patrons of theirs. How's
Yes,
that?
we are.
They are raising money. So
Well, let them get settled first. Then we'll start asking them for stuff.
yeah. We'll not put the cart before the horse.
Good
on
morning,
that.
Captain.
Good morning. So that is once again Adam Silverstein from the Hip Hop Museum. Always a pleasure to have him join us. What do we want to do now? Do we want to do the old to the new that we had
We do.
scheduled? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do an old to the new. We'll throw to a break. We'll do BRL and we will roll out.
The old to the new. So once again, let's just say your artist of the month for May is Kid Sensation.
Yes, so you can get live with the Kid Sensation.
You can get live with the Kid Sensation. We will bring you some Kid Sensation music
We will.
next week. I guarantee it. But we've had two really
Unless we
really
have
good
another
guests.
surprise guest. Who knows?
Yeah, which I shouldn't
Should not guarantee.
because I didn't guarantee. I said we will do it, but I didn't throw a guarantee out there because things are subject to change. But there's a
Yes.
good reason to change when we get people like Adam and Groove who
Yeah.
want to spend some time with us.
Daddy-O. Yeah.
Daddy O. Yeah, we've had a pretty good lineup of guests.
We
in the last
have.
6 weeks. Old to the new for this week comes to us, if you listen to the intro, the one and only Toast Face Grilla, also known as Ghostface Killer on the label,
Yes.
has teamed up with Nas.
Yes, former
The-
artist of the year.
The pairing I didn't know we need
Mm-hmm.
until we heard it. Kind of like Nas with Preem.
Yeah.
So Nas getting some major music out there lately. This one is called Scar Tissue, and it's brought to you by Ghostface Killer, Nas, and presented by Mr. Throwback Thursday. Enjoy.
Bottles of sangria, monsters jumping out of trucks like a concierge. Pasta, prawns over lobsters, oysters, diamond chips, smothered all in the fish in the cold boxes. Tractor trailers, old drug dealers, got me feeling like Gotti the way they bug the ceilings. One roll, but Kane in the box, my appearance. You front taking everything off for straight clearance. Jewels, cash, couple niggas from Nebraska, you soaking in Epsom salt the day after. A ill murder game's what they told me. Keep reaching when it's not on me. We ain't homies. We ain't partners, nigga. Use a target. So much gun clicking, they kick us out of apartments. Everything's steaming, you have city mode. You ever seen coke rock up on a pretty stove? Stop beefing with that nigga. You can talk to me. If you really like that, you can walk with me. You can spar with me. If you take two to the head by mistake, pardon me. Payback's a bitch, ain't it? That's why I don't talk to niggas I'm good. I ain't getting acquainted. Middle finger to the judge, we still killing the plaintiff. We Staten Island niggas, we don't gotta explain it. Nah, Harlem Shake niggas for they pockets. Stay tuned for more faggot niggas coming out the closet. Rockin' fake Dior. Any change made on this ground, out of respect, that should break me off. Word, I stay styling, silks, valleys, and raw denim. Get your head wrapped in plastic, I'll boss head 'em. Read niggas up and down like the courts read 'em. Spit acid on everything, straw venom. Sheesh. Ghostface Killer, Staten Island QB. This what we do it. Indubitably, niggas are stupid to me. Or should I refrain from calling some brothers out of their names? Cause a king only qualified for some. You can't call us all kings, not everybody is one. Yo, this verse is like shrooms and rum. Levitating out of my body or something. Woke up uptown in 67. It's Smalls Paradise, Candlelight, where I saw my man Bumpy Ellsworth and his wife. Queens represented like Prince Gerald Miller. Free that man plus LO. Nothing bigger than Ghostface and Nesco. Legal Mexican cartel money, call me Arnesco. Guzman, Lopez, Garcia. Gold-plated AKs, lethal when you see us. Between the fingers, smoking on $1,000 blunt. Telling suckers I got everything they want.
You're old to the new for episode 536, Ghostface Killer featuring Nas with Scar Tissue. That's a banger.
Yes, it is.
That is a banger. I love the production, the music hook in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really well done. Sometimes when you get two big personalities like that together, there's a little bit of battling for elbow room on that track, and I didn't feel that on this. I thought they complemented each other real well, and that's because stylistically they're very different.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it had to do with they were on tour together, so they've gotten to know each other.
Yeah, as part of
better.
that New York State of Mind tour, or whatever it was. So, but a really, really good track from Ghostface Killer featuring Nas, Scar Tissue. You're old to the new for episode 536. We are going to take our final break of the day, and when we come back, it's time for Bill Reed's lyrics on Mr. Throwback Thursday. It's lyric time. We can get AI to do Vader's voice to say
Yes.
that. That would be great. So I'm not that good, though. So you just have to do with a bad impression of me.
Yes.
And you'll get that after the break on Mr. Throwback Thursday, 536.
All right. I'll pull up a drop. Let me get the motherfucking piano ready. Right there, listed as the motherfucking piano. Come over here and get BRL ready. Maybe I should probably actually pull up Bill Reed's lyrics so I know what I'm sending you. That would help too. It's on a page that I don't have open. Copy link. That helps. Come over here and paste link so I have it. What verse did I say? You don't know. I have to look. Oh, verse 1. That's easy.
Verse 1.
All right, put that over there. Bring this back up here. Bring this over here. And okay, play. I'm gonna hit this drop and we'll get into it.
Sound good?
All right, let me make sure I have my disclaimer ready. Okay. Do this with a tree. Woo's your mama?
It's just another case of that OPTA. Oh man. The school I wrote notes to quote from Shakespeare and others.
This is Dinko D from LONS, Leaders of the New School, and you're listening to Mr. Throwback Thursday. Peace.
Someone's ringing my bell. Ding dong. It's about 2 in the morning. Yo, geez, what the hell's going on? It's just another case of
But it starts with Bill.
Bill is Preston. It's called reading. It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Top to bottom, left to right. Together is a sentence. Words together is a sentence. Take Tylenol for any headaches. Take Tylenol for any headaches. Might offer any cramps. Might offer any cramps. Most people probably don't listen to the law. But they should. But they should.
Welcome to Bill Reed's lyrics.
The following segment of Bill Reed's lyrics is an educational discussion of artistic expression and creativity in modern music. This segment may contain explicit or offensive language. Sensitive individuals are discouraged from listening. The views and opinions within these lyrics are not necessarily those of Mr. Throwback Thursday or its hosts.
I never know which one of those you're going to do. So,
I don't either until I do it.
welcome back, Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 536. It is indeed time for the properly disclaimed Bill Reed's lyrics. Although that was the Wheel of Fortune one. So
It was, but there was a disclaimer at the end.
There was indeed.
Not a Micro Machine guy.
So, the Micro Machine guy. Who was that? Who was the guy that used to do the FedEx commercials? I forget his name now. He passed away. The super fast talker.
I think he was the Micro Machine guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he was, but I can't really. If I heard his name, I would know, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm sure the research department knows it. But all right, let's get this.
John Machida.
John Machida. Yep. Okay. I knew I would know it if I heard it. All I know is that I heard you say I'm doing verse 1.
You are, and I sent it your way.
Let me get over to the private chat and see what I'm doing verse 1 of. Oh, okay. So here's an artist that we don't normally do on Bill Reed's lyrics.
We don't.
But I do I love the fact that the intro, the first word of the intro, it's perfect.
Yeah.
In fact,
what is my
I'm going to start
word?
because of that. I'm going to start with the intro.
Start with the intro
because it's one sentence.
It's his favorite word. All right.
It is.
So with no type of ado, Sesame Street Grover Styley, whether nearer or further, we'll cue the motherfucking piano.
Biatch. Talk about these hoes, big. I got a bitch that sucked my dick till I nut. Spit it on my gut and slurp that shit back up. Ain't that a slut? Hell yeah. She even take it in the butt. Fuck for about an hour. Now, she want a golden shower. You didn't know that we be pissing on hoes, bitch. Biatch. Luke and Biggie straight shitting on hoes, bitch. Biatch. Lick your toes, bitch. Biatch. Fuck no, you must be crazy. Squirt in your face, and then I'm Swayze. Bitch. Recognize G straight up. I can't knock y'all. After Big Papa, fuck all of Junior Mafia, the whole clique. Dick sucked, ass licked. Leave your number by the phone. Bring your ass on home. I roam in Lexuses and Benzes, the flyway. With the flyest bitch getting head on the highway. Riding my way deep throat on Luke's boat. When the moon rises, I'm coming in her eyeses. Do it. Just the way players play. Leave it up to me. I get fucked all day. Yeah. Sucked all day. Smoking blunts. Counting cheese. Fucking bitches. Till they assholes bleed. What you say, baby?
The what would we call that? The eloquent words of one notorious B.I.G.
Yes. The dulcet, poetic prose of one Christopher Wallace,
featuring Shaw.
Too short. $2 Hort.
Yes. And I don't believe there's really anything more we can say after that.
No.
So you should probably change your hat from Bill.
I have multi hats today.
to
So
Bill. Do you have any shit hats though?
I'm sure Cranky would consider that a shit hat, but I'm not going to put that one on.
Well, then you should proceed.
Cranky considers every hat a shit hat that isn't a TBT hat, especially if I put a Mets logo on it, I'm sure he'd
Well, yeah.
a shit hat too. So
Yes,
here we go. I am great.
All right, then you can proceed to take us home.
You sounded like Tombstone. Baba, you may proceed, sir. Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 536, brought to you in part by the world's strongest coffee, Death Wish Coffee. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, deathwishcoffee.com, and in our mugs on a regular basis. And now all of a sudden I have the hiccups, which is hysterical to me.
You know what's a good cure for that?
Death
Wish coffee. Yes.
Which I just took my last sip right before we started Bill Reed's lyrics to get my throat nice and ready to go. The world's strongest coffee.
That's
Death
what she
Wish
said.
Coffee. Just didn't say it in the lyrics. Use the code TBT for 12% off, and then Throwback for 10% off on every order after that.
Yes.
12% TBT code is a one-time offer. Go check out the world's strongest coffee, Death Wish Coffee. Go check out friends of the show, Def Rugs, defrugs.com.
Oh, shit.
Which
We had to
on my
hit us up
memories
this week.
today. What? We did?
They had to hit us up. Didn't I put that in the...
No, you didn't put it in the notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and we'll get back to Marshall, which, by the way, he showed up on my memories today that we talked to him years ago on this day. So,
Nice.
So hit
Yeah, I
us
think I
up, will
put-
you?
Yeah, let me do that.
Watch it be
Good
Marshall.
afternoon, posse members. This is Rob here. Just wanted to say I got my booty hole brown bottle opener in today. It's my excitement because I didn't know I won. So when I went to my mailbox, I was like, oh, shit. At least something will brighten up my day. And this is it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next week. Rock on. I'm going to run to the hills with my bottle opener now.
All right, Rob.
Well
Rob,
played.
Rob, who won the two-sided bottle opener, the 10th anniversary, and Billy Booty Hole Brown bottle opener. So
Yes, but he left before we did the drawing that week.
He did leave before we did the drawing. So congratulations, Rob. I hope you
Yes.
enjoy the bottle. I hope you get some use out of it.
And thanks for hitting us up.
Thanks for hitting us up. It's always nice to hear from you. So anyway, back to the sponsors.
Yes, Marshall.
And Marshall, who, as I said, in our memories, came up. I forget how many years ago it was we had him on as a guest, but this was that week.
A lot of years.
A lot of years.
Got to get him back
Fox, the original Ruggy Fresh, the man behind Def Rugs, along with his business associate, the green-eyed bandit, Eric Sermon. DefRugs.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Def Rugs. Handmade, high-quality, hip-hop themed rugs. Go check them out and get yourself a Def Rug.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier in this show our good friend Heather Lent up in Schenectady, New York, the proprietor of the Bittersweet Candy Company, where she makes candy and chocolate starfish that are handmade, small batch, different, and
delicious.
I don't know if she makes the starfish. I'm sure she
No,
probably
but who
could
knows?
find
She
a way
might
to
now.
do it.
I passed her the message.
It's so fucking funny. Bittersweet Candy at bittersweetcandy.com. Place your order. Use the code THROWBACK and save 10%. Get your candy and chocolate now before the weather gets warm
Before it
and you
gets
get
hot.
a big gloopy mess. So go check them
Like
out.
Biggie.
And enjoy some bittersweet candy. It's actually very, very good.
Yes.
Melted Mike's. We talked about pumice with
Pumice,
Adam.
we did.
Melted Mike's, MLTDMICS.com. Hip-hop themed t-shirts from the one and only Pumice Team Mendola. Go check those out and order. Use our code MR Throwback Thursday. Saves 10% on your t-shirts from meltedmikes.com. And finally, Etsy.com/shop/geek-like-you, where the geek shall inherit the earth. Hip-hop and pop culture-themed items from the sick, twisted mind of Mr. Throwback Thursday and a sick, twisted wife, Mrs. Throwback Thursday.
Yes.
Go check out Etsy.com/shop/geek-like-you, where the geek shall inherit the earth. Don't forget to visit us at mrthrowbackthursday.com, the social media networks for the show. It all begins and ends with our homepage, mrthrowbackthursday.com. Click that microphone like Rob did and leave us a message. That's called Hit Us Up. And we'll play it on the show as we did.
We will.
You can also follow us on the artist formerly known as Twitter at @the_MR_TBT and Bill_MR_TBT, which is also my Instagram and Threads handle. Jamie on Instagram and Threads is MR Throwback Thursday. It's also our TikTok handle, MR Throwback Thursday, where you could catch a snippet of Groove Allen talking about Puffy last week.
Yeah, I think we got like 1,200 views on that one.
I think we did. That's a good thing. So
makes me want to keep using it to promote the show.
So check out the Tiki-Taki before they ban it in this country. You can also check out our Facebook page, Mr. Throwback Thursday, and Home of the TBT Posse.
You should do
check
that.
both of them out. And check us out every Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fresh Radio at itsfreshradio.com. Right after the All Request Thursday, which you can also be a part of by tweeting your requests to DJB at Real Fresh Radio.
Yeah, or like last week, we end up playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you're following Fresh Radio, as you should be, you would have known ahead of time that we would be on at 1 instead of 10.
Because he
everything's
lets you know.
subject to change.
And then you can also send us emails to mrthrowbackthursday@gmail.com if you so desire. Shout-outs time.
Yes.
We're going to start our shout-outs. You know what? I'm going to start with Rob Jeffroy because he hit us up this week.
All right.
So, Rob, you are leading us off. Rob Jeffroy, Gail Dunmeyer, Manny Baez, Sarah Henderson, John Henderson, Hugo Gonzalez, Sanket Patel, Teresa Lynn, Simple Luxuries at teresalins.com, Clay Arsenault, The Shrieking Warrior, Jennifer Buchanan, Jason Heath, Jessica Walker, Shane Hatley, Ricky Schnarr, hello, Captain, who joined us late.
Yes.
Kenneth Elsfelder, Mr. Cranky Pants, Brian Hollenbeck, the legendary Kevin Van Buren, Kate Harvey, Catherine Liska.
Speaking of Kate Harvey, shout out to Kate Harvey, and she's got a new venture coming up. She has left the Hip Hop Museum as a writer, and she is putting out another book. And big ups to Kate, and good things for her.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes.
Where'd I leave off? Ken Dwinell and Wanda Calamia. They all get mentioned because...
Or more.
you want to get your name mentioned, become a patron. Go to patreon.com/MRTBT or MrThrowbackThursday.com. Click that tiny little blue link that says become a patron. It'll bring you there.
Yes.
It'll take you there. Don't forget our friends, as always. Check out 1980s Now, who joined us earlier in the show.
They did, yep.
Will, Kat, and John. Check out Anthony Imran and the Felty American Rug Boy over at Jock and Nerd Podcast. Check out Talking Ty on her webpage, BrooklynTyNYC.com, and her show, What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Ty NYC.
Oh, jump back to 1980s now. Since we were talking about breaking today,
I know they put a post up about it.
They did an interview with Lucinda Dickey.
Like last week, I remember that.
Yep. Who was Kelly from the TKO crew in Breaking. So you should go over and check that episode out.
Which you have a Super 7 figure of.
I do.
Very cool. Yes, I remember seeing that on there last week. I think they did that interview.
Yes.
And I went through and listened to it since it is a playable on-demand cast.
It is.
I listened to it on demand when I was driving 40 minutes down to Fishkill twice this week to go to work instead of my 10-minute commute. So got to find ways to keep myself occupied.
Pass the time.
And then I listened to Eric B. and Rakim one morning, and it's nice to be able to drive every now and then long distances just so you can catch up on your music. We mentioned Brooklyn Ty. I mentioned the hardest working turntablist in the world before. That's DJ B, the proprietor of Fresh Radio at itsfreshradio.com and the Fresh Radio app for your phone. So check them out. You can also find us on Wild One Radio at wildoneradio.com, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time all throughout the weekend. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and all of that good stuff.
Yes.
Find us. Share the good word. Take good care of yourselves. Until next week, we will be back at our regularly scheduled time. Unless that changes. Everything's subject to change. We'll keep you updated. Go find us. Share the good word. Wash your hands.
Wash your butt.
Very important. Can't underestimate that.
No.
And until next time, keep it classic.
And like Kool Keith said, you act more fake than Pamela Anderson getting rebuilt by Oscar Goldman.
And always remember,
new school stale, old school fresh.